Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am your host, Ahmani Brown. We are in the Deep Dive Nexus, and we have Aaron this time.
Hello.
We have Leon,
Hello.
and we have Devaughn.
Aloha.
And this time,
Very
our
good.
topic is going to be quite the interesting one. This one's way chiller than the last one we did. No promises that the next one will be as chill as this one.
We will see.
We shall see.
Yeah, for the most part, definitely no promises. This one is why do we like what we like? So this one is explained to the boys before, but for you guys, we're gonna be pretty much discussing the things that like we enjoy and why we enjoy them. Just to kind of give us a little bit more in-depth opinion on like things that we enjoy and how we approach and look at certain things that we commonly look at. So this one's going to be quite the fascinating one.
Also, look at things that we like, kind of have to each other, and then things that we have like that are overlapped. I feel like with a lot of the group.
It's going to be funny because I think that like even in the overlap, we all approach it from different angles.
Yeah.
So let's get started. You know what? I'm interested in hearing a very specific person's stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna just point the mic at Leon over there because he's being real
Shit.
crazy.
Oh god, panic.
Well, be ready, boy.
Hey,
What?
you're considered the anime guy of our group.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick on you, Mr. Anime Guy. Why do you like anime
Damn.
so much? And then let's get even more specific. And why do you like specific type of anime so much?
Okay.
Like, what would you say is your most consumed type of anime? If you had to look at all the ones.
Hentai,
you've
I
read,
mean,
like,
I
what's
don't
Um,
He's thinking.
the most consumed I'd say is more of shonen,
Mhm.
but it can vary. Because I guess most one is I say shonen. Because I jump around between that, some little romances here and there,
Mhm.
the
of
overpowered,
manhwas.
the shitty isekai, and some manhwas as well. Which mainly with the manhwas is the regression stuff, and then some standard stories as well if I can find them.
Okay.
Well, what have you noticed about it? Because you know
yeah,
him pretty
yeah.
well.
I've noticed that.
What have you noticed?
You have a tendency to gravitate towards the power fantasy ones. The
Yes,
I'm
yes.
cool outside of my world protagonist OP guy. So like, what's up with that? Why do you like that so
Wait,
much? I'm
I like
curious.
that.
Wait, that's Takumi in every way. But were you
Yeah,
Aura, were you trying
yeah, that's
were
what
you-
I'm saying.
How often was Takumi aura fighting, aura farming in fucking Obelisk? By the way, now that I think of it, yeah, how often was that man aura farming?
He
'Cause I
definitely
feel
was
like
trying. He was for sure
you,
trying.
and then Andre's character also would just constantly be fucking aura farming, like
The
genuine.
fucking snipers.
I-
I'm fucking over.
I don't know if it was active or passive because 9 times out of 10 I don't imagine that. Aside from me trying to dodge everything, that might have been a part of it. And
Yeah, but you're like, I'm gonna fucking sit here, like, sit my blade in the specific position. Like, you always do like that.
Go
whole
to the
aura
roof
farming.
and
I
shoot.
know
the
it.
shield was more of a mechanic. It's the thing. It's the mechanic that I do. So
Yeah, I know, but you were aura
Yeah.
farming as well.
He does
that
that
too,
a
but
lot.
that's also just the weeb in me, always saying the attack name out, so on and so forth.
No
so.
way. He's that type of guy you do in real life.
And then there were multiple times where I tried to like aura farm, I guess, whenever I wanted to counter, but that never went through because Ahmani rolled too fucking well.
Yeah.
Bro, Amani rolled so well in
Lock
Obelisk.
in.
That shit was always...
The only time
Dude, Amani would roll so well in Obelisk. That man was trying to kill us. It was
because I know
fucking
that there was a
insane.
time during the fight with Pele's guy where I was trying to protect you from the blast and everything. And instead of dodging, I wanted to counter it, so to make sure you weren't harmed. And so I had the whole idea of using my blade to like cut down or send back the attacks. And so I guess that would be considered that. But other than that, I got my ass handed to me because Ahmani rolled too well.
I'd
And that was
love to
during
go
the
back
nerf.
to Obelisk if we ever got like more of the original. Like we would just need Andre back. I feel honestly, but like
Yeah,
I'd love
that
to
would be the
continue
main thing to
Obelisk.
kind of should we finish it.
And 9 times out of 10,
Anyways,
I don't
you like-
I don't see myself, or I don't see it me or farm me that much.
You do I do see that you do kind of enjoy the power fantasy aspect of things though, which
I
I
do.
I do respect. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you do like that. Like I feel like it's why you kind of. It's not that you're not like you don't play them because you play like rivals, but I feel like it's why I don't see you playing a lot of competitive games either a ton. Like it's usually like games where it's you being a fucking badass fucking up like a ton of people,
thing.
which
Yeah.
I totally get.
Which is
you know?
fair, yeah.
Absolutely.
But I'm just curious as to why you gravitate towards these. Because they're fun, but sometimes, like, at least for me, I couldn't constantly digest the idea of, like, and it's another overpowered monotone badass, and I'm just kind of like, there's gotta be another one. Like, there's gotta be another archetype going on here. Please.
To be honest, it's not that it's the overpowered monotone. It's more of the growth. I'm interested in the growth of how they do it.
Yeah, because they tend to start relatively weak and then
and then end up to the same
very
area,
very
which is
very
kind of
strong.
the part
that.
that
Now
throws me.
I'm not
But
gonna lie, there are most definitely some that I do enjoy. Which specifically, I think what started it was Seven Deadly Sins. Meliodas,
Oh my god.
specifically
nah.
him being as he is, being
Meliodas
all,
is
cocky and
interesting
such.
because he is
No, horny
like
fuck.
overpowered.
Dude,
He
will be honest
is a
with you,
horny fuck too.
I can't ever go back and rewatch Seven Deadly Sins. I've tried and I literally hate it. I hate every second of it. Holy shit, dude.
Well,
I wouldn't consider him
I watched it though and it was good when I watched it first.
Yeah.
Maybe my brain developed.
like
it's
he's
season
like
three. It's
everyone
just
in that
season
series is kind of like
Yeah.
OP, right? Like that's kind of
Yeah,
like the point. But like,
but like at
he's
least
so
I don't know, my boy.
like kind of
Yeah.
goofy with it. Is the best way I could describe that. Like I'm kind of amazed that you gravitated.
Yeah, but I feel like Seven
Into
Deadly
that, but I
Sins
get
wasn't
it.
necessarily Meliodas for him. It was probably Bond because Bond is OP as shit and he's
Bond's
also
cool
like a
as
nonchalant
fuck,
guy
though.
with his hands.
Oh, Bond was cool, but for me, it was just Meliodas' mood. Upon he's goofy, but you know he can
Yeah,
kick ass, and the
yeah,
fact that
yeah.
9 times out of 10, whenever the enemies would try and get a read on him, he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
try," and especially during the times when he would just be dark with his
Honestly?
curse mark and such. At that very much was like, "Oh yeah."
I feel like Seven Deadly Sins is such a big introduction anime for a lot of people
Oh yeah, for sure.
because like it casts such a wide net. But like going back to it is rough when you've watched a lot of other anime.
Yeah,
and
there's
you're like,
you get to
wow,
see a lot of
like-
tropes and
And like
It can
my
be a
big
little
thing
boring, a little
is
boring.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Meliodas is a creep, dude. He creeps me the fuck out, and I don't like it. Like he.
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, there are
It's
parts
not
of that
just
story that's
it's
definitely
not just
problematic.
usually because I can handle like, oh, I'm kind of the pervy protagonist. I'm a little pervy, haha. But
No,
it's like
he goes up
the whole
and-
Nah,
show.
you're a little fucking.
That's what he does.
You're
Now-
kind of just pervy.
Now,
Like,
when you have context, you're like, okay, but still weird though. That's
it's
still-
I think
Yeah.
it's still incredibly fucking weird. I am not going to lie.
I'm not.
And I'm not
like,
gonna lie. As much
context
as Bond
for it.
is like,
Yeah.
context is important, but Bond's like, oh, I'm a 4,000-year-old woman, but I also look like a fucking 8-year-old child, and you're in love with me. It's like, yeah, you know, as much as I get the whole, yeah, she's not that young. It's just the fact that there's like, he's a young boy with an older woman. It's a young girl with an older man. You know, like they're literally just like that
They
kind of
just
idea,
swapped
and it's
them,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
like I just don't like it. You know, it's just weird.
Actually, you want to know the weird thing about the Bond situation too that always kind of threw me off is that King has like two forms. One that's like more representative of
she
his
can't
age.
appear as an adult.
Yeah, though I'm like, why does she not like? They never show her as an adult, like ever. Like she's always in that like fairy kid state. I'm like, your
Well,
brother
it's
has the exact same
awakening
shit.
It's the awakening thing. That whole awakening part didn't happen until far into like the final arc, essentially.
Yeah,
Second
but
to
she
final
like
arc, I
never
believe.
like in this like I read to the end of the manga, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she never switches. Like she always remains the kid looking form, which makes it
She
kind
never
of
even knew how to
weird.
do it, and once she grew her wings, that's when the whole thing happened. Where she looked older. Now I'm not going to say she looked hella older, but she looked older.
But like for me,
Um,
I do get where it's coming from. Where it's just like the idea of like, you know, I get that she's supposed to be a fairy, so it's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I'm like,
It's just
really,
an excuse.
we're not gonna try to switch this up at any point.
oh no,
Like,
this is
I-
100% playing on his possible fetishes of.
It's just an excuse,
Yeah.
and
Chill.
like
That-
it's such
yeah,
a weird,
but-
like it's an
Yeah.
excuse that's like barely feigning, like, like you know, it'd be
Yeah.
like that. It's
And then Meliodas is like the whole crux of the story, right? But like at the same time, like I get
And
it.
then, like-
I definitely get it, but it's also like there's an undertone there that's like,
I don't want to shit on like the thing you brought up as the first thing. By the way, I just
Yeah.
like Seven Deadly Sins is such an interesting anime to like go back to as an adult when I watched it when I was
there's
like 18, something like that, and like my frontal lobe had not fully developed, and then watching it as a fucking like older than 25, it's like going back to it, it's like it's creepy.
There's some
there's
parts.
there's a
some
lot of
parts.
shit where it's
There's some
really
parts.
creepy, you know, and it's not even like one of those like. It's just the main character is really creepy, and then there's a bunch of like the tropes that are just there that it's like, yeah, no, I just, you know, this is very dated. You know, it feels old.
Meliodas is barely beating the allegations, and it's by like the smallest of margins.
I wouldn't really call it beating the allegations
I do
if
not
I'm
like
if
talking
I'm
about
from a
it.
bureau with you.
Either.
But like, anyways,
he's
like,
definitely
Seven Deadly
grooming,
Sins
but
led you into like what did you get into after Seven Deadly Sins? You got into anime.
Oh no, that
Like,
wasn't my first manga /
Okay.
anime. That wasn't the
That was
first.
just-
but it was the one that kind of led him towards that trope.
That was
that,
the
like,
one that led with the
actually-
whole
okay,
overpowered
okay.
situation.
Oh,
My
okay,
first
okay.
anime
'Cause I'm not gonna lie,
technically would have been
action
Dragon Ball
wise,
Z.
it's cool.
Dragon Ball
well,
Z
that's
would have been
not
my first one I watched.
Dragon Ball Z is also a fucking power fantasy. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yes,
fuck?
but like
Now this
The
is
best
also
way
to
clip
get
of it.
killed. Yeah,
we
they get
like
killed,
we
but they
we
also
make
get
fun of
stronger.
Dragon Ball. We make fun of Dragon Ball, but like genuinely, there's like in Dragon Ball, the concept is that there's always someone stronger. To be fair, so like whereas like Dragon Ball is like, oh, it's a struggle to get stronger and everything like that, and always self improvement. Seven Deadly Sins is no, these dudes walked into the party the strongest dude in the room, like by
Yeah,
default.
my boy, you know who feeds every allegation possible, except for when fucking for some reason they made Merlin a child, which again something weird as shit they did.
They
that
did
didn't
do
need
that.
to fucking
That was
do.
weird.
They didn't
That shit
do
was
that.
creepy.
They didn't do that. No.
My boy Escanor, bro. Oh god, Escanor is such a cool fucking character and such a trapped in such a shitty anime, and it pisses me off, bro. Oh, he's such a cool fucking character. Anyway.
But again, yeah, not to shit on Seven Deadly Sins. This, like we said, we definitely understood it at the time, and even now, you understand that at the time, and even now, cool shit in it.
Yeah.
Weird allegation stuff going
Weird
on.
allegations.
Just
Absolutely weird allegations.
overall, like everything people bring up for JoJo, like it's a little creepy. It's like, bro, the third part has two weird things that happen, and neither of them are like good. And everything about it in Seven Deadly Sins is the main characters doing it, and it's like, what the fuck?
But to get back to you, so like you went to from Seven Deadly Sins to what was like next on
was
your...
was DBZ like your first, like your actual intro, like
That was like
anime-wise?
my actual intro. If I remember correctly, it was when I was a kid.
Because mine was Naruto, so that was my
in
first.
Maryland. Yeah, it was in Maryland when I watched like a couple scenes. I don't remember exactly, but I knew that we had like bootleg cable at the time, and they took it away, so I didn't get to see it again for a while. And after that, I guess technically Pokemon, quote unquote, even though I don't think I realized that was like an anime at the time.
Yeah, you just I just saw it
you
as a
don't realize
cartoon.
it, but I think Pokemon is a lot of people's first anime and not realize it.
But most definitely Dragon Ball Z was like the main first one. And then Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Fairy Tail.
Would it be insane to say that my first actual introduction to anime was one of my friends at church that was obsessed with Zatch Bell?
No,
No,
that's
Zatch
not
Bell was one
insane.
of them
That's
too.
an
That was,
interesting one.
that was a fairly popular one too.
That's how I got introduced to the concept of anime. Was there's a kid at my church who like was fucking obsessed with Zatch Bell. Like he
Zatch Bell's
fucking
cool.
loved that show.
Actually,
and I would hang out with him, and he would just. He's actually also what introduced me to like DBZ and stuff. He introduced me to like pretty much everything anime related because they owned a PS2, and we played like every single Dragon Ball Z game on the PS2 basically that he had.
fair.
Because they were a bunch of them had like 2-player co-op for some fucking reason, and like I just remember vividly playing those games and like having to wiggle the fucking stick to fill up the screen with the little fucking dudes.
To-player
and, like, all
co-op
that
on a
shit.
Dragon Ball game is kind of wild, considering almost no one fights. Like, no one jumps anybody in that show.
You know, like the missions all often were like, oh, Raditz is there, so one of you has to play Gohan, one of you has to play Piccolo.
You're
Yeah.
probably
You know, that kind of
playing
shit.
Saga. You're probably playing Saga.
Let me tell you something. I had to
Of
play
course
with the
you know.
second player, which gave you like the shittier characters usually, which often mine was like I was Gohan, and having to fight Raditz as Gohan as someone who'd never really played a fighting game and had never played Dragon Ball Z, I was like, why am I so tiny? Why am I fighting this big motherfucker?
If someone explain anything to me right now.
What's going on? How am I doing this?
But in between the whole like main big three that I was introduced to later on, I think it was in middle school. Studio Ghibli also had a decent impact.
Yeah, that's
The
a good
Kiki's
one.
Delivery Service, Spirited
That's
Away.
also a good one. Who introduced you to that? know?
If you remember.
Was it like
yeah.
somebody you knew? Because
No,
for me, it was my mom.
We kind of just had a cassette tape. We just had like a log cassette
Oh.
tape that and one of them was Kiki Delivery Service, and then we.
I was about to say
purchased-
Kiki's. My mom. My mom was obsessed with Kiki's Delivery
Oh yeah,
Service.
we
dude.
watched that like on repeat.
My mom loved
and
that.
then
My mom
Spirited Away as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
even
yeah.
though it was really kind of weird.
Spirited Away is a
weird.
good movie to watch
It's
as a
good,
child, even though it does traumatize you. It will traumatize you, and like, but I feel like it's not a bad thing. Like genuinely, the kind of trauma it gives you is like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
you know, don't
And
trust
then
random ass weird creatures that are monsters. Also, like
Mhm.
Hikey.
Just don't do that. That's
And then
weird.
when I was in Virginia with seeing my grandparents, I believe we saw Princess Mononoke as well, and that one became my favorite.
Mononoke is so good.
And still is. It still is one of my favorites.
Mononoke is so good. She's one of the baddest bitches of all time. Like genuinely, I don't mean that in a sexual. I mean like as scary, like bad, like like they're bad, bro. Like holy shit.
So confession, I still haven't actually seen Princess Mononoke.
You've
I
never-
think
we
I
have to-
caught.
You need to watch it.
We
I
need
actually
to
caught
watch
like the
Mononoke.
ending to it, which is the
No, we
weirdest
need-
part.
we
but,
need
like, I
to
haven't
watch
watched
Mononoke.
it. Watched it completely.
How many
No,
good
that-
Ghibli films
that's
have
a-
you seen? Wait, have you seen the Flying Pig one? Jesus Christ, I can't think of the name in English. Porco Rosso. Have y'all seen Porco Rosso?
I don't
No,
think so.
I didn't.
You
know
haven't
that
seen
was
Porco
existed.
Rosso, Liam? Porco
Okay.
Rosso is a Ghibli film as well that's based in like a World War One era in Italy. It's really interesting. Very good fucking movie.
I
Holy
saw
shit, we should watch
Spirited
that.
Away. I remember seeing one of my friends showed me My Neighbor Totoro. Like, I actually did get to see that
Totoro,
one.
goated. It's weird to
Um,
watch as an adult because I feel like you want the movie to be deeper and like you want
Yeah.
to know more lore. But
And it's
as a
just
kid,
not.
it's
It's
just
just-
ooh,
it's
look
just
at all
really
this.
weird.
It's really just look at all this cool shit. It's for like look at how kids just can enjoy shit and not
Yeah.
question it. Learn to do that, you know, a little bit.
Just learn to do that. Isn't,
Ponyo,
I remember
Ponyo
the
was another
one.
technically actually.
It's like the cat one. There's like a cat one. I can't remember what it is.
The cat, the bus. Oh, the cat one, like cat one.
There's the cat bus, but cat bus is from
That's from
My-
Totoro. I thought you were
My
talking
Neighbor
about
Totoro. Yeah.
the cat one. I mean, Kiki's Delivery Service has one where she has a cat.
It might have been Kiki's Delivery Service.
And
Well,
she's
that's
like a
more about
little
witches and everything.
Oh,
she's a little witch and
House Moving
everything.
Castle. I saw House Moving
House,
Castle.
yes,
Moving
House Moving
Castle.
Castle. That's another good one.
I mean,
And I obviously knew about Ponyo because Ponyo was like one of the only ones that came out during the time in which we were existing. Like,
Yeah.
It was a very good movie as well.
but like, other than that, I don't think I've like seen that many Ghibli films.
Because I know there's like March of the Fireflies. I would need to watch.
I might have
There's a lot of the lesser known ones.
Mhm.
I think my favorite one might be Porco Rosso just because I love the main character. He's a
Hmm.
fucking mercenary pig. That's fucking hilarious. He fucking flies a fucking. He's a badass, but he's also just a pig. It's really
He's
funny.
just a pig.
Yeah, Castle in the Sky. That's another one that I need to watch. Shit.
I might have seen that one. I might have seen Castle in the Sky.
That's like a good variety. I feel like that's a pretty good. I think I don't know about Devaughn, but I think at some point somebody eventually gets you with Ghibli. Somebody, you
Mhm.
know.
It's like a mainstay, honestly. Well, in the past, I'm not totally sure now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, those
Cartoon-
were my main,
Cartoon
like,
Network would just show it.
introductions.
It would just
And
like,
I
be
mainly
like,
stuck with all that.
What
For-
about like video game wise? You know, like what did you kind of like play? Because did you also
I
gravitate
was-
towards like character action or like kind of beat 'em up? Like
No,
maybe
I
when I
gravitated
was
towards that.
growing up, I was very
I
much
know that's you,
neglected
man.
on playing like rated M, rated teen games. I only had to play adventure platformers. And
Damn. Okay.
okay.
mhm.
It
And
was until you got older that you.
then I started to play stuff like that. And I also, my brother, we used to play like I think Madden, not Madden, football games, Spyro, Yu-Gi-Oh, because I loved that at the time. Sonic. We did have one Dragon Ball game, but that was when I was more of a teenager or middle school, which was Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, and then we got Sagas. That was really it. We didn't really have many games in that aspect, but the main anime overpowered concept really came forth with Seven Deadly Sins, because then I started reading that on my computer, and I just kind of fell in love with, enjoyed the manga ever since then. And then ever since Manga Browser, I found that app, I was able to find different offsprings of different genres and so on and so forth. Some of them are like, why the fuck does this exist? Other ones I'm like, okay, interesting.
Like dog nigga.
Yes.
But like, you always gravitate towards the OP main character. So like, I guess like, what about it pulls you in?
I guess the confidence they have. Like, yeah, we can get this done, but
There's just something cool about
Let's
just
see
being
something more entertaining, you know.
Mm.
Or they at least the one I don't say the ones that are more goofy that kind of got me. The ones that who can keep cool but be entertaining at the same time. The ones who have actually like I want to say play with their food maybe.
So like you love the
'Cause-
idea of like the cockiness of it. I'm like,
To
oh
a
dude, I'm like
point.
overwhelming this person. Like so,
To a point, yeah. It's just have fun because if you just overwhelm them, it's kind of boring. It's like, all right, just you're ore farming if you do that. But if you flavor your food, you're like, this is let's see what you can do, and then you ruin them and
I
destroy
feel like
their.
that's still aura farming.
It is still ore farming, but it's more the more steps, I guess. um, that's I can't really like pinpoint it though. Like I'm saying things, but it's not really pinpointing it. Because I can't really think of why. It's just something in my brain. It's just
That just
click
fascinates
with
you.
it.
You're like,
It's the way you are.
Like how neat.
This tickles me very
Nowadays, although I
differently.
still
I give the thumbs
read
up.
it sometimes, I'm not like, oh yay. Let's just
No.
see how it goes. Because most of the time, it's okay. Let's see how he grows, not just oh yeah, he's busted
No.
automatically.
I
Because
guess my
any of
question
those-
is for you now, because
Mhm.
it does seem like before this you didn't recognize that it was a pattern.
Mhm.
How do you feel now that you're being like called out and being like, do I really look at that many? Like what's going through your head now that you're like,
Oh no, I'm not surprised. I guess it's like when you connect the dots, like oh yeah, okay, I understand. And I do believe Paul actually pointed it out to me before when we were talking one time. He just did like an analysis of who I am, how I am. I think he said that overpowered and something being heroic, being able to help and save people is what I'm mainly drawn towards being possibly able to do. Which is
Fair.
why 14 always pops up with me. But yeah,
Oh my god! I just opened my phone. Like I literally opened my phone and it was playing audio. A lot of shit.
but like that's usually what you're you're not sure why exactly, but it's like a part of like what it is that just attracts you to this kind of
Mhm.
I get it.
and as I said, it's grown. It's not like just be busted and I like you. It's more of okay, have some depth, grow a little bit, be
So as
Sun
you've
Jinwoo
grown,
and grow.
you've kind of been like, okay, I need you to grow too.
Yeah, just don't just be
Can't
that.
just be busted.
Don't be the generic. I guess
Mhm.
be mysterious. Because I know that there was a decent, I guess quote unquote overpowered anime that I saw. I think it was like Chrono something. And the main character, yeah, he's the overpowered person, but he doesn't show it. He doesn't trying to be it. He just wants to be normal for the most part, do his own thing. But people keep throwing him into the scene. I think that's what the concept was. Or the ones who have drawbacks is always a fun one too.
Okay, well, because that's usually what makes it more interesting. There's like a whole writing thing about that like
Not
I think Brandon Sanderson actually talks about it, where it's like powers are cool, right? The most interesting thing about your power system, if you're gonna make a magic system or anything like that, is what are the drawbacks. It's way more interesting than what they can do is what they can't do. Like what are they like how are they limited? So if you have like a character that's OP and you're just like, okay, but like he can only like Escanor. Escanor's a perfect example. Strongest dude in the fucking show.
Strongest dude, but only at
for
peak,
like
only
only a
day.
peak time in the day. Is he the
If
strongest thing
you
ever?
just survive either to get after that, he just starts getting weaker. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing you can do is fight him in the morning because he's just gonna get stronger. Whereas if you were to be smart and like attack him like late afternoon, he'd be strong for a while. But if you're strong enough to survive for enough, he's gonna reach a point where he's just useless. But like I feel like any OP character,
peak moon,
like good OP characters do have a weakness, and I feel like as from what I've seen from you, you do like characters that like they're strong and they get OP, but it's not like they're untouchable. They just know how to use their powers very well, and they're very skilled. It doesn't come
before,
without like a
when we were watching Solo Leveling, where you and like the idea of it's fine if they're OP, but they have to make mistakes. If they don't make mistakes, it's not interesting. It's not very interesting to you.
If they're always OP, always in every single fight, you start losing. Like, there's no threat because it's like, oh yeah, they're dead. They're dead as fuck. It's over. You know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna do? Lose? He can't. It's impossible.
Sadly enough, 9 times out of 10, whenever it comes to a genre like that of them being overpowered, that's like a caveat that always happens. They have to be either perfected of some sorts during that time. They can't be any like drawbacks on it.
Yeah, like there's I'm sure you've also read it and or watched it, the like Super Cautious Hero, that one.
Yes.
Like super cautious, whatever. Like I love him because like, yeah, this dude's OP as shit, but he's also like OP as shit for a reason. All he does is prepare and train. There's literally nothing else on his purpose in mind. There's nothing else he's doing. He's not also good at like every other thing in the world. This is it right here. You put him anywhere else in the world and it's over. He's useless. He just genuinely couldn't work as a cashier. You know what I mean? He'd be freaked out by the amount of people he has to meet. That kind of thing. Like it's always, and even like with solo leveling, like yeah, this dude's aura farming 97% of the time. But the reason he's doing it is because he wants his fucking mom to not be in a coma anymore, and he's like, I'm gonna not stop until it happens. Like there's like an emotional backing to it. You know, like he has a reason for this.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm a badass for sakes of being a badass. You know what I mean?
Well, I was given this power because I'm here on accident. Fucking smartphone anime. Jesus Christ.
You're like,
smartphone anime is funny as shit. Or like ReZero, for instance, is a good example in my opinion, where like the power to just come back to life and redo the day, to just Groundhog's Day that shit, hella strong. Dude cannot use like any type of magic.
You also still have to figure out how to get through the day, though. It's not
not only do you have to figure out how to get through the day, you have to figure out how to get through the day, and you have like no powers besides that. Besides the fact that you can come back, everything else is stronger than you.
You don't come back stronger each time. It's just you. If they're running at you with magic,
you just gotta do something to help.
They're trying to do magic at you. It's not like you can suddenly fight it back. You just
which is great.
Memorize attack patterns at that point. Realistically, it's a Souls like.
It's a subverted overpoweredness because starting time is overpowered, but you can't do anything about it. But at the same time, at least for me, I also find that kind of mundane because I would like to see the main MC kind of improve in some way now, at least.
Like you want to?
I love Subaru, but at least if he could do something, like not square up against the strongest person, but be like, okay, yeah, I can take out this pipsqueak, possibly not get bodied by this man. Which happens
Subaru
in
would get bodied by a dude with a knife. You're not wrong. That's exactly.
Like, I would like for him to take out the guy with the knife, if possible, or to prove himself. I guess have like little heroic moments here and there, but it's just those little weird spots.
That's pretty funny though. It's like oh shit, he got bodied by that guy with a knife again. He really can't deal with that, can he? Oof. But nah, I get you. But, we'll actually turn our focus to Devaughn because Devaugh's been quiet.
Yeah, because I've been talking about stuff I already know. You already said everything I would say.
Alright, Devaughn. So let's talk. Let's find something. Why do you like what you like?
Stuff I like. I really think about this. The first thing that came to mind was Rocket League. The reason
you love Rocket League.
You do love Rocket League.
I love Rocket League. And
why does that game click with you so much? I like trust me. I tried to get it. I don't get it.
The only reason why, because I play is something I fiddle my fingers with while I'm talking with my friends, and it's fun to get in arguments. It's fun to get your anger out and scream for some stupid game reason.
It's also like interesting because you're good at it, and I'm not saying that it's a surprise. It's not a bad game, but it's a game that like requires a level of like. You're flipping a car or riding around and fall. There's a lot going on. For you, it's it's like an ADHD game. You know what I mean? It's very funny, and you do well. It's just hilarious. You know what I mean?
And it's very easy to fuck up in a game. And if you scream at somebody for fucking up, it's like everybody gonna fuck up.
Did you get into it mainly because like it's a free game on PlayStation?
100%. It came out in 2015. Just got out of high school. I'm just like,
we just got out of high school. I got nothing to do this summer. Oh shit, Rocket League.
Fuck it, Rocket League. This shit was free.
It was fun. It was free too. It's the best. Gave it away for free. Game blew up.
It's like there's no story to it, so I play it on mute a lot actually. No game sounds.
You don't really need a lot unless it's like calling.
Yeah.
As long as someone else is like whoever you're playing with can call out to you and like conversate, you really don't even need it. Even then,
there's message in the chat. There was a chat system.
There is a chat system. You're not wrong.
They updated Rocket League. There's a voice chat in it now, so I'm scared to go back to that.
Wait, they just now put a voice chat in it?
And
That's
again,
fucking crazy.
Very fun.
You're afraid you're gonna get called something crazy.
I already,
while,
scared.
playing
I already
properly.
know I'm pretty. As everywhere
It's
I go,
gonna happen.
as anything I do, I'd be called that certain word we cannot say on for certain reasons.
That's the internet, dog. That's the crazy thing about the internet.
Actually, it doesn't even have to be a certain word. People get very creative at this point.
It's the internet.
Colorful language. It's colorful.
But the things I like, the reason why I also like video games is I love video games and TV shows. TV shows, because I feel like I get absorbed in them and like.
Devaughn melts TV shows.
If I get into a show, I'd end that show. I especially.
Let's get more granular. Like, what's your favorite genre?
My favorite type of genre is action comedy.
Action comedy.
Mm-hmm. And anyway,
what's your favorite action comedy?
Favorite action comedy? Damn, we'll talk about shows.
Shows or movies as well.
I'm trying to think. My favorite action show right now, I'm thinking about Reacher. It's just funny as hell. And
Reacher, you haven't started season 3, but
I
season
started.
3 is
I
so
started.
Good. Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
Thank God.
Mhm.
Season 3 is so good.
It is amazing.
I'm already caught up. They come. There's one episode left, and it's not out until next Thursday.
I'm slacking on that, but it is an amazing show. Reacher is such action. I love this big booms and shit, ADHD and shit, But movie wise, really can't think a movie that is my favorite action comedy.
Movie or show, but like I was thinking, like just not just shows. Think of both movies and shows.
I know. I'm thinking, but shows. I watch too many shows. Oh,
I don't want to like throw anything out there, but
Snowpiercer.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
That is not an
Rush Hour's
action
pretty
comedy.
That's a
dog.
comedy to me.
No.
The way that
Action. Rush Hour is literally an action comedy. That's what an action comedy is.
Yeah, straight up.
That's a classic.
Rush Hour is awesome.
Rush Hour 2? Shit.
Rush Hour 2 is
Rush
one
Hour
of the
3?
best.
Shit. All 3, bro. First trilogy.
All of them is, they're just good.
That I've watched. One of the first trilogies I watched as a kid, but I was like, oh, they're all good.
Damn,
'Cause
now
usually
when
the
we
second
watch
one was
that.
ass.
I love those movies.
The first one doesn't hold up as well as you would like.
It's
not
not
funny.
it's not that it doesn't hold up. It's just that a lot of the jokes they make would probably offend some people because they went hard on both the black and the Chinese jokes. And
Yeah,
it was
like you kind of look at it now and go like, "Wow, they got away with that."
Like
Huh.
they have Jackie Chan at one point say that, and like not the hard R, but with an A because they tell him to, and it's so fucking funny. But it's like, dang, they got him to say it. That's insane.
insane.
I'm sure. I mean, fucking. They did some pretty also. So I watched it recently with Anna, with my girlfriend while she was here in Costa Rica. We watched it, and there was a couple of the jokes that they make about the Asian people, and I was like, oh my god, like in my eye, I was like, yo, that's crazy.
And they allowed it.
How did they get away with this?
That's insane, But it's still funny, still a great movie. Genuinely, we would enjoy it because we don't get offended by that stuff, and we know that it's jokes. But it would probably 2 though. I feel like 2's a little more friendly.
Oh yeah, it's more fun. It's just as funny though.
Oh yeah,
All 3 of
it's
them.
very funny.
Like we said, great ass movies.
I don't know. I've seen you watch you like Snowpiercer too. I feel like you also have because you and I have watched a lot of shows.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
Too many
I
shows.
know. Like you like also like the mystery of things.
Oh, I do love mysteries.
Like Lovecraft Country, for example.
Oh my
We watched
God,
that
Country
one
was so
time, the three of us.
fucking good.
Lovecraft Country was a show that I was like, I would watch that myself and be like, damn, I wonder who would like it. Because realistically, it's something that's a little weird that I'm like, at the time, I didn't really know. At that point, that's like, okay, Devaughn knows how to fucking consume every kind of media too, as well.
He has
can get
media
it.
literacy.
But like, it's one of those things where I was like, yeah, this is perfect. It's fucking like Lovecraft and then all this other things. And I was kind of worried about it being too slow for you for a lot of things.
That was lit. I loved it. Oh.
Like Snowpiercer, you fucking love Snowpiercer,
really
and then
good too.
Snowpiercer. It had some questionable things, but overall,
it
I
had some,
feel like
it had some
was an alright
character
show.
moments that were not the best, but
You're right about me and mysteries because This Is Us is that emotional show that was about like a family like just going through a lot of shit and see what's gonna happen with them. It was a really good show and I love that.
didn't finish.
I think Devaughn finished it.
What?
No. We didn't finish them.
Oh,
That was
man,
the show.
yeah.
We were watching them. We need to go back to that show.
Bro,
I
that
just
shit
forgot
was
about that.
Fucking traumatizing, bro.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was kind of just like,
Yeah, there was one episode specifically where it was like, oh.
Cat in the Bag episode. Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
I literally had to we literally had to stop watching the show for like.
I have not watched them.
Continued it.
I would plan
Yeah,
to watch
we never
them.
finished it.
I don't remember
To
it.
finish it.
Like mystery and like, I also feel like you can consume a lot of I don't know. From what I've seen, you're very capable of consuming a lot of shit. Like I still think you would enjoy JoJo, but I do get that it's a lot to sit through sometimes. But you will sit through One Piece, which leads me to believe you can watch JoJo. If you can sit through a One Piece episode, you can sit through a JoJo episode.
I made it 3 seasons in.
Oh yeah, no. Wait.
I know, but we stopped. Like,
you
you made it to fucking Stardust Crusaders and stopped.
Yeah.
When it gets interesting.
Yeah.
For, like all the stands and everything.
Yeah, that's before.
You were about to get. We need to watch season 4. Holy shit! Unironic. Holy shit! Holy shit! You haven't seen season 4. We have to watch season 4, bro. We have to.
Good. We have to.
That shit's so good.
I'll watch it. I don't care. I've been
I
past
just think
that.
that's wild that he just stopped there.
I said they were talking too much.
I think. Also, that's one of. If we have too many people there, it's hard for to concentrate.
I'm not trying to watch it by myself.
Want people to be quiet. I want to watch it with you, you know what I mean? But then tons of people join, so it's rough.
Impossible.
I want to see, I want to see your reactions to things, but then people start talking, and it's like shut the fuck up. And I don't want to be mean, so maybe we could do it, but just put it in it's like okay, we'll go to a different chat and watch it. It'd be like if you're gonna join here, you gotta shut up. We're gonna watch JoJo. I did that with Javi when I watched everything except for Stone Ocean. We watched, but right before Stone Ocean came out, we watched all of them, and he didn't want people joining unless they were gonna shut up and quiet, because Javi also is very if I'm gonna watch something, I'd like to sit there and watch it. I don't want to.
I was sad because when you guys were initially watching Stone Ocean, you guys ended up watching huge chunks of Stone Ocean. You went back and watched it for me, but I wanted to watch it with you guys as it was coming out because it was one of my favorite parts that I wanted to see. And I would show back up, and you guys would have been through huge chunks of it, and I'm just missing so much. I really wanted to watch that one as it originally came out, with your reactions to it, but I had to react to it myself. I was sad.
No, it's generally fun watching people's reactions to it, in my opinion.
Jesus, I consume shit. I'm thinking about Monster Hunter and fucking Fortnite. Jesus.
Hey man, Monster Hunter. I could talk about Monster Hunter all day, bro. And I know you guys could talk about. I mean, this.
I will say this. I feel like. And it's one of the reasons we in the group have problems just playing things like other games in general. Is Devaughn, I feel and that's not a bad thing, that you will play anything as long as it lets you play with your friends. Almost. Yeah. As long as it's a good game and it lets you play with your friends, that's what you will prioritize.
100%.
Yeah.
It's why Rivals is good, because it's pretty good right now, because a lot of people are willing to hop on Rivals. But it also it's why it's so hard to get people off games sometimes. Is I feel dude. There's people prioritize you a lot, very very heavily. I feel prioritize playing with as many people as you can of your friends.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it difficult to be hey, look.
Not a bad thing. It's just something that I noticed. It's just you'd prefer to just have fun with your friends at the end of the day. That's kind of what you.
That's what I'm here for.
In the game.
That's your go-to. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is very true for him.
100%.
I guess because for me, I was used to being by myself for the most part, even though I had my brother to play with, my sister sometimes. 9 times out of 10, it's just me, so I'm just used to just going solo with stuff.
No, I get that. I used to do that all the time too. I just have no problem just playing a game solo. That's just how I play the game. But as time is going on, it's just kind of I've gravitated more towards wanting to play with friends, but because I want to play with friends, it does get in the way of me playing the games I want to play solo. Because there's a ton of games I have on my list that I'm I would love to play this more.
I don't have any
But
single player
games.
But the homies want me to play this. I really want to get through this.
Oh, that story, impeccable story. But the homies, though.
Perfect example happened today, actually. Devaughn, I'm not offended. Don't take offense, obviously. But perfect example happened today where Leon, I finally just broke down and was fuck it. I don't even care if I finish the DLC for it. I want to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I want to play it.
Yeah.
It was I want to know what happens. So I started playing it. I didn't even get through chapter 1 because Devaughn was Rivals? And I'm
I didn't know you were playing Ahmani. But Ahmani, I was do you. I was fine, do your thing. I was
Yeah, but you already asked, so it's too late. It's out in the open.
Once you threw it out there, you're on the obligation, though.
Now I gotta go play Rivals. Clearly.
You're right. You guys have really changed my mind. I really gotta find my single
No,
player
no, no.
games.
You're good.
I know.
Continue to play games.
No, you're fine,
I know.
yeah.
I want it because I always told myself I want to play single player games, but I just never do it because I had friends. I have so many like in my library. I actually want to play Red Dead again. Didn't do it. I have it downloaded on my fucking PC for like weeks now for no fucking reason.
I've done nothing with this.
Sitting right there. And Witcher 3.
Pretty good though. That's true. That's right. That reminds me. You had an entire Uncharted game that just sat in a wrapper that you wanted to play, and just never touched,
And I lost it.
and then it's gone.
Correct.
It disappeared. I was like, it was Uncharted 4, right? It was the last one.
I think
Which
it
is-
was 3 or 4 is one of them. I don't even fucking know.
Nah, it had to be 4.
I never
'cause
opened
I
it.
think, yeah, it had to be 4 because like Uncharted 3 came out on PS3.
I never
and you
realized.
didn't have a
Somebody was
PS3.
like, "Ooh, this shit not even open."
Yeah, someone just pulled up and was like, I got a brand new copy of Uncharted 4. What the fuck?
Bless
Give me
up.
that.
Bless ups. Bless ups.
They got blessed. That's fair. That's fair. All right, Aaron. Let's switch over to you. I know yours is
Oh, man.
yours is wide.
That's the thing. Like I consume a lot of everything in general when it comes to my like with media, but like things that
I
like
know,
I
which is why I'm gonna hit you
really
with
like.
a different one.
We got
I gotta,
Star
I
Wars.
got you. I gotta
you
hit
know?
you with a different one because we
Which
know you
one?
like Star Wars. We know you like stuff
Yeah.
like that. But music,
Music.
yeah. You
Shit,
you
dude,
have a
that's-
specific connection to music, and like I don't think it's ever really truly expressed on here.
Oh, he
So, like,
loves
yeah.
Cardi.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
my
fucking
god!
love Cardi. Yeah, totally. Still haven't listened to the album. I wanna listen to the new one to give
Hell
He
no.
Shall Not Be Named like a full like breakdown of why I don't like it. But like I said, it's not like it's horrendous. It just is not something I would listen to. It's like something I'd hear at the club, realistically.
I'll say this on podcast, bro. I actually like a
But
couple songs.
you're not wrong. Like I played like, I was in band through like all of middle school and high school. So like I fucking
He knows
I
music.
love music in general. But I also have like a weird like
Aaron is
I will
music.
listen to a lot of shit that's old. Like I listen to older shit.
Wait, hold on, David. What were you gonna say?
I said some random bullshit. I said Aaron is music.
Aaron,
Aaron.
shut up.
That's what I said.
Look at you. Look at you.
Like like I don't know, like I do I think I listen to older music, or like even if like I listen to newer music, it's specific kinds of like random new people. But like recently it's just been like I got on a binge because there was a fucking Masayoshi Takanaka had a fucking concert. Those of you don't know, that dude was he's a fucking Japanese guitar player. He's like really good, but he makes like pop, like island pop kind of jazz music.
Yeah,
you know?
you did show us this before. Yeah.
And he had a concert in the U.S. for the first time in like 50 years. He's a 70-year-old man, and like I've just been fucking consuming that shit. You know what I mean? And like my girlfriend constantly is like sort of upset because she's like, "You're always showing me new shit, and I'm never showing you new shit. Like all the time, it's like I'm like I consume a lot of shit. Like we watched
Just constantly looking into.
Have y'all heard the
shit.
song like Moscow? Da, da,
No.
da, da, da,
I think,
y'all know that song?
might
It's,
have
Yeah.
come across that one.
Yeah,
it's a
I've
song called
heard it.
Moscow by a band called, well, not a band, by a group called Genghis Khan. That was made in like the 80s, right? They're the fucking German band with a fucking Mongolian name singing about Russia, all right?
Yeah,
Very,
no,
very
that's wild as
complicated.
shit.
But it's like a random ass song that I remember that I just found on YouTube years ago, because I just get on YouTube and click on random videos because fuck it, what do I have to lose? And I'll just watch a lot of random shit. And I showed it to my girlfriend, and she showed it to her mom, and her mom was like, how did you like hear this song? Like, how did you even hear this?
How did you
And
find
she's
this?
like, oh, Aaron showed it to me. And she's like, how did Aaron hear it? I don't know. And she's like, how did you hear it? I'm like, I don't know. I just saw it on the internet. Like, literally.
I just
Clicked on
found it.
It's
I
old.
just went looking.
It's old. Old stuff is kind of crazy to listen to. But the thing is, like, I'm not gonna lie, Anna listens to a lot of Chaperone and Sabrina Carpenter, and I just have listened to those songs now because they played in my head sometimes. And they're not bad, you know, they're pretty decent music. You know, it's not the worst thing ever. I do listen to some like
Throw it
newer
back to
music. Hell yeah, dude! You gotta learn, you know. But like, with music, I feel like it's because like I'll also listen like just jazz or instrumental music and stuff like that all the time. I listen to like
a lot of jazz.
movie like the movie.
movie
songs
soundtracks and
all the time.
OSTs?
Movie soundtracks
Yeah,
all the
same
time.
thing.
Like realistically.
Huh. Damn, I
Movie
don't,
soundtracks
they
be
go
slapping,
hard.
bro. Sometimes music soundtracks have better bangers than the actual songs.
Bro, I will stand the fact that Tarzan be like fucking the guy that sings the Tarzan, Phil Collins. That man is one of the most goated musicians of all time. Jesus, bro, goated. Every time that he touched a fucking Disney track, fire, fucking fire,
For no
every
reason.
single time, for no reason. But he had to, bro. He had to. There was no choice. And then not only did he do it in English, he did it in Spanish and German, I think, too, and a couple of other languages. It's insane. I was freaked out the first time that I watched Tarzan in English at school because they started playing the music and it was in English, and my brain was like, am I fucking tripping? Am I tripping out? I've only ever watched this movie in Spanish. Why is it the same song? I didn't know he recorded it in multiple different languages.
It's
Like,
the
why did he have
exact
to do
same
that?
song every time. What?
It's great. They changed the words, but it's
Oh,
still
yeah,
the
so
same
it
feeling of
flows
song
better.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Like it's not they actually like from what I understand,
would
I'm
have
pretty
to.
sure he wrote the original, and then they had like actual composers like kind of help him rewrite it into their actual languages so that they would make sense.
And then
Which
he
is
sang
goated.
it.
It's insanely
Then
goated.
he
Like
sang it in
insanely
that one.
goated, bro. And then he sang it, and his accent is actually so good that I was like, wait, holy shit, Phil Collins might speak Spanish. I was like, that's actually kind of crazy. He's not horrible. I've heard way worse accents. And he's British. British people tend to have the fucking worst pronunciations of things. No offense to British people. And full offense, actually. Fuck you.
I was about to say, what are we talking about?
you didn't have to add all that.
But like I've listened to that, and then like I feel like that also led into like being just open minded about consuming anything. Like I've watched every kind of show that under the sun that you can think of. Like I feel like I watch a lot of different kind of things with people though. Like what I watch with you guys
It's very
overlaps
different
to an
from
extent,
what you
but
watch,
doesn't
yeah.
really match up. Like I watch a lot of shows with my cousin down here in Costa Rica. I go down to his house and we'll watch a lot of shows. We have my cousin and I think have consumed well over like 70 shows together, like front and finish to end, like just straight, like well over 70.
Because you'll watch a lot of
shows.
documentaries and like nature stuff too.
We watch a ton of documentaries and nature stuff just for fun, and like they're good. But we also watch like that'll usually be like a. Because I'm not gonna lie, we go there and we get high and we watch a show, right? So usually what it'll be is like we'll have a show going on, and then we'll have like backup shows, you know.
Just
So like
happening.
we'll have like a big show with a story that's an actual like show that we'll be like really digging, and then once we finish that, it might be coming out weekly. We'll watch like a baking show or
Just
a cooking.
because,
Fucking cooking shows go so crazy. I will fuck up a cooking show. Like holy shit, a good
I love cooking shows.
A good competitive cooking show. I will just eat, consume of any kind. Baking.
And it's
I've seen-
funny because
is
like,
it cake?
we'll do the same thing with you because sometimes you'll just start watching a show and we'll be like, fuck it, I don't know what's happening in this bacon show. I usually don't get like it's not something I would click on, but like in a lot of cases we'll just be like, fuck it, it's on, why not? Like this,
Dude, we
and
should
we'll
watch the
into it.
Hogwarts Bake Off. That one was really good. I feel like Leland would probably enjoy that one. It's a fucking Harry Potter one. It's actually
I do
crazy.
think that's actually
It's
one of the
insane now,
things that's interesting
because I'll
about our
watch.
group.
Yeah,
But,
we have
yeah,
like a lot of
no matter
different
what, like even if we aren't inherently interested, like because I know for a fact like I will never just normally click on a baking show, but like I will become just as invested as if we were watching JoJo because
I ain't
we're
gonna
just
lie.
watching a
We're
baking
rooting
show.
for somebody like, you got this, my bro.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
I think it's a beautiful thing about the group in general is that most of us are genuinely open to watching almost anything. Like realistically, like bottom line, y'all remember the Marble League?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, Bubbly's
Okay,
awesome, bro.
Javi and I were watching the 2022 one the other day, and we were like 3/4 of the way into it while playing GTA, and I'm like, God damn, I'm so into this. This is so stupid. They're just marbles,
Why
but
am
I'm
I
over here
so
like
into this?
actually into it. It's insane.
Oh, I miss him.
And like, I showed that to like normal people, and sometimes they're like, "You what the fuck? Like what the fuck?" And it's like, it's Marble League. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't know how to explain it any other way. But like I showed it to
Sports, but
Anna.
it's marbled though.
You know, and Anna was like, "This is the most autistic thing I've ever seen." And I'm like, "I know, but watch, just get in it for like a little bit, trust
Just
me."
allow
And like
yourself to just
15
chill.
minutes in, and like maybe 10 minutes in, and she was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now. I understand." She picked. There was a team called Pinkies. They're pink. Immediately won her over. Bam, there you go. And then they started competing, and she was like, "Wait, Pinkies going?" I'm like, "Yeah, there we fucking go. God damn it, we did it." But like,
the best way to
we
get
have
the
sat
ball
in a
is to tell them to
room
pick a
in
team.
a Discord chat with like 10 or 11 grown ass men watching that shit, and we'll be like cheering like we're watching fucking football, and it's so stupid. They're marbles, but it's such a beautiful thing.
That was a great
I
time.
think the funniest
We
thing
can-
is when
there's
we
a
actually
bunch.
started like
They
we started
still make
talking
them.
like they had stats. Like it was like, oh,
Yeah, bro, Momo's
Team's
strong.
fucking up.
Momo
He's
isn't even in the
like-
current one.
I remember my team didn't make the playoffs. I almost fucking cried. I was like, oh, I'm
I didn't make qualifiers. I'm gonna kill myself.
oh my god, dude.
Like in the past, if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure you remember, I didn't join in on the group Discord that often.
Yeah.
Simply due to the fact that there's a lot of dumb shit that happens here and there, and I'm just not really want to deal with it. But recently, and I think one time, I joined in when the Marble League was going on. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I got invested too. I was like, "God
Yeah.
damn it!"
Fell into
Yeah, like
it.
it takes like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
It's like a rabbit hole. You
hilarious.
step in there for a second, you fall back in
But
there.
I also feel like compared to what a lot of you guys watch, like I consume a lot more like YouTube, for example, I think,
Yeah.
than
That's
a ton of you guys. And I also use it differently. Like Anna always tells me like your For You page is so fucking interesting to look at. Cause like it's just random shit. You have Oni plays, you have fucking Kentucky Ballistics, Houston Jones. Oh, here's a 4-hour documentary on some really specific thing that I don't even know, but I will watch that 4-hour documentary. I'll sit down and watch the whole fucking thing. You know, it's a whole breakdown of an entire game series that I've never played, but I'll watch it. Fuck it.
No,
You know what I mean?
Sure, why not?
You know, like a really random, like, oh, here's some random surgery. Like I always have to be careful because I'm like, hi, there's a dude getting his leg cut open. I don't want to show you guys that or whatever. That's like I don't want to see that.
I
You know,
I
like-
sometimes love the little guides like, oh yeah, if this happened, this is what may be. It's a little like AI generated or animations where they show,
Yeah.
oh hey, this is how you do the surgery, or when
Yeah.
a snake bites, so on
like
and so forth.
the animated like CG ones. Yeah.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie, my YouTube feed is constantly changing. And it's a huge part of just because like my brain will just go to a place or find a video and start watching it.
You'll
I
start,
don't
like,
think I
focusing
click on
like
this-
something
yeah.
specific.
And
Mhm.
but like yours changes like it's super random in comparison to mine. So like mine's always like refocuses around like video games, so like let's plays and
Yeah.
like news stuff for like media things is usually what it focuses. But then like because I write and things like that, I'll just dive into like video essays and like tutorials on how to draw like certain things or how to approach storytelling. Like I have like 2 or 3, maybe 4 different channels that's just dedicated to being like, hey yo, how do you approach how you like work through stories and story ideas and stuff like that. And then it'll jump from there to like right now I'm like, oh look, it's a fucking Fortnite trailer. Ha. And with like comic book stuff
you
going on
you
the
like
side.
keeping up with like new stuff, so it'll give you like, you know, what's going on with everything.
But it just
new.
it genuinely
Yeah.
like jumps around because like there was a time where it was just lore and like video essays on just like breakdowns of like movies and stuff like that, and like it'll just swap around. It'll just change. It just completely depends on like what I'm like for some reason hard focusing in this current time. But it'll always come back to video games, it seems. Which is fair. But I totally get what you mean, where it's like you just use it differently. Because like right now, I think I have Jubilees as a part of mine. Like I get a bunch of Jubilees now.
Like
And so
I'll
I'm
get
like-
on like I'll watch a couple of movie clips and then boom, and then I listen to music on YouTube a lot. You know,
I
I
don't
just have
do
like
that.
music videos
I
and
usually
shit like
don't
that.
use.
I like watching old music videos because it's so interesting compared to new ones. Just how they were back in the day. It's very funny.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. I also like, I don't know. Maybe it's like nostalgic, but like I do like older shit a lot. I tend to in oftentimes, but not when it comes to games. I guess 'Cause I don't really play that many like old games.
Man, I got an old heart.
I would say.
I always like looking back at like old
I'm a
games.
fucking.
I'm
You're
not
like- you're
sure.
like 40, bro.
for sure.
Because there's just so
70.
many.
Oh, man.
Wow. There's just so many games I've
Even-
just never touched.
Even like anime wise, like the first like I got into the Zatch Bell, but when I started watching like things like Transformers, because my parents were fucking nerds, my dad was like, "Oh shit, robots! You want to see like the OG thing for this? Like what inspired this?
Yeah,
stuff?
they would
I
just
know
show
what this
you
is.
it, yeah.
Here's Messenger Z. Here, watch it." And it's like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck? I don't know.
Well,
I talked
shit.
about it with people, and people were like, "What's mass? What the fuck are you talking about? Like Gundam?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I-
"What's Gundam?" And then boom, there you go. I made another connection to some other thing. There you go. Like it's over. I'm gonna watch that shit. Yeah, like you know, or like even with, I don't know, but I think it's nice because I get to like I like showing people just random shit that I find too. I think Logan has it as well, where he likes doing that, but it's fun. You know, I like honestly show you guys like Kentucky Ballistics is so funny because it's like, goddamn, this is probably not something they would ever consume in day-to-day life regularly ever. It's
not
just
at all.
not
It's
at
just
all.
not. I find it super interesting every time you pull up a video. I'll tune in every time. I don't even have Kentucky Ballistics under my like subscribe to make sure I can watch a video, and I'm interested
Yeah.
every time. It's
Huh.
just that let's just
How many
don't.
subs he got like that?
Hmm?
No, I'm thinking like how many subs is the people just watching from like one person? People
That's
just
yeah,
streaming
that's
it.
an interesting statistic. I don't know.
That's a random thought. But this is what I love about this
Yeah.
group. We just have so many different topics we just bring to each other.
Like right now on my feed, it's Batman punting a child, and I'm like, I'm so glad that this exists. It's just popping up
Yeah.
right next to D
I've
and D
been-
classes.
I've been watching a lot of fucking like stupid fucking conspiracy videos on YouTube because
Jesus.
it's super funny. So like there's like
in
the
animation.
like it's like the people fucking that like think the Earth is like like flat or shit like that.
Right now.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, here's a video essay right now. This one is called the androgyny of evil, and I'm gonna probably click on that later because it's kind of interesting. It's talking about like how a bunch of evil characters are just for some reason unclear as to why, like whether or not they're like male or female. Like Envy, Frieza, and like him from Powerpuff Girls.
Girls, yeah.
I don't know why that the devil was like that in Powerpuff Girls, but
Oh,
they
no
just
time.
were.
They have no time for gender. It's only time for evil.
It's only time for my gender is evil.
Like
what's
oftentimes,
in your
it's interesting
pants,
as well that you mentioned
dude?
that. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched The Passion of the Christ. I don't think anybody here other than me ever watched that movie.
Quite a couple clips of it.
There's the part where he's getting the part where Jesus is straight up getting crucified. There's a part where like the devil shows up amidst the crowd, to like basically taunt Jesus. And the way they chose to represent the devil in Passion of the Christ was this incredibly androgynous, very pale. You could not really tell if they were male or completely this being essentially. So it's probably
And that's
something to do with
fascinating.
also the uncanny valley might also but that's how they chose to represent it in that movie. And from
that's
what I
funny
understand, that
because
movie
I've
was
seen,
trying
like,
to be
the-
very accurate to the Bible.
That's true. I've also seen like the opposite, where like, because there's been a couple of examples that like where like the devil is actually shown as, and I think we've talked about it in like certain like history things. Like I think like with statues, for instance, where like it is evil to be like well endowed. Like the reverse.
It was just seen like back in the
right?
day. It was seen as barbaric. Like it
Barbaric
wasn't
and, like,
necessarily
yeah.
evil. Like back in the day, having like that was just seen
But
as
I've
barbaric.
like seen like
which,
the devil represented in a way in which he is
like
like
demon in general, demons
like
and stuff like
demons
that would be
being like,
represented
well
as
endowed
stuff
as
like
opposed
that.
to like
It'd be like it's essentially they'd have the lower half of an animal, meaning that they were beastly. Like that's usually what it was implying. They were animals of some sort. Which by it was a way of representing it, mainly because that's what at the time was viewed as bad.
Yeah.
It changes with it changes a lot. Like the representation of the devil changes. Historically, it even gets to the point where a lot of the representations of the devil looked like Jewish people in ancient time. Like they looked like caricatures of Jews because at the time Jews were very persecuted. Things like that, especially in areas that were very heavily Christian, Catholic, and stuff like that. So like it really depends. In some situations they were like. Oftentimes it was like to depict everything you hate in the devil. So like if you hate like Polish people, bam, there you go.
Then,
Depict the devil
they
as a
look like
fucking Polish guy. It's that kind of idea.
In some instances, if you didn't know what dark skinned people look like or you just didn't like it, they look like that. Like it switches around and
Or
you're not
you
wrong.
could be
You
like
just
the
depict it.
Mormons where they knew about dark skinned people and they still did it. It's funny.
Fair enough. Nah, I just hate that shit.
That shit's fucking. John Smith was a fucking.
That shit has
bro.
to be evil.
Yeah, I try to be respectful, but genuinely, holy shit.
Yeah, that one's kind of wild. They knew it just chose.
That's fucking hilarious.
That is really funny.
It's really interesting because like growing up, my parents were very religious, and I was always kind of crazy because they let me consume a lot of media that a lot of religious people did not let their kids consume. Like I read and watched Harry Potter. My parents had no issue with that shit, like no problem whatsoever. And I remember one time at church, they were like, "You let him read that? That's like witchcraft. It's Satan." It's like, okay, one, this is a book that's fake, right? Fake key was a big thing for my parents.
Yeah.
Two, there's a literal dark evil wizard that's evil. So this is a world with magic. Magic exists naturally. There's animals that have magic. Okay, so it's natural.
They understood nuance.
There's dark, evil wizard. The dark wizard, that's his name. Evil as fuck. Our character, young boy, very good, pure. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? How is that satanic? Realistically, like, it's just like one of those
Like,
things.
read the book
how did
first
you
before
get
you
here?
say anything.
What is the jump?
I do think they did their job though as parents, and they like made sure to know what I was consuming. Like as with video games, unfortunately, it was difficult at first because they were worried about me consuming a lot of violent media. Which to be fair, good for them. Thank you for doing that.
fair
At least
enough,
to an
yeah.
extent. But like they were also open to like as I got older, they weren't overprotective to the sense where like we have to make sure like because like when I got Halo 2 when I got an Xbox, it was like, hey yo, holy shit, this is like the first time I ever played a shooter, and like the reason that they got it for me was because the dude that worked at the fucking GameStop, shout out to that guy, was like, hey, look, it has blood, the drugs and alcohol, there's just one guy who's smoking a cigar. That's it. It's just one dude smoking a cigar. It's the only time drugs and alcohol are even like in the game. Most of the blood is blue and green because they're fighting aliens.
Yeah.
Like they don't shoot people, they're only fighting aliens. You actually don't fight any people. You don't shoot a single human unless you accidentally do it or mean to. You're just fighting aliens. And the guy was like, I think it's be a pretty good game for him. It's not like too much. And I was like, dude, shout out to this fucking guy. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
It's really not that bad.
You made a warrior that day.
And like it was great because it introduced me to like a whole different genre of things that I never heard of Doom. I never even knew it. I didn't know what the fuck Halo 1 was. I just knew this was Halo 2. That's all I knew. I didn't even know what the fuck Halo 1 was. I didn't even know what the hell that existed.
My cousins introduced me to Halo. They was just like, hey, look, man. I just went over to their place and they was playing it. And I was like, I'm going to try. And I got bodied, but it was cool. Found out I could pick up 2 guns at the same time. Blew my mind as a kid. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like shit like that, And
There's a reason
my parents were.
my favorite.
I feel like my dad was very worried that I was really into guns as a kid because I still am. But they were very worried about me being into guns. And I think my dad had a very like, I'm just afraid he's going to shoot up a school or something, potentially, or like he's going to shoot somebody or want to shoot somebody. And then like as I got older, it was like, oh no, it's just the like the whole aspect of the engineering of it. They were very like, I don't know. I don't think they still like it. My dad did not like it, but it was also like, they kind of grew to understand it a little bit more. Realistically.
I'm like, in comparison, like I'm very like, in comparison to you for sure, I'm like very anti.
I don't think there's anybody else in this group really, other than like maybe like a couple other people that like are into guns at all. Like Paley, I know is, you know what I mean.
But like I understand it. I definitely get it. I'm like looking at it. I'm like there's some stuff that's like super fun. Like Paley shows me like the crazy like obsolete. Oh yeah, someone had this idea and threw it together type guns. Yeah, and I'm like, and those I'll be like, it's cool as shit. There was a ray gun.
They're incredibly interesting. Like just the random shit that people put together when like they're developing, and just how guns developed. Like I was really into swords and knights and stuff like that, and all that stuff growing up, and it just is a natural evolution. Of that style of thing.
I like melee weapons a lot.
Swords are awesome. Don't be wrong. I still think they're cool as shit. Now I'm not gonna lie. I still think peak underused aesthetic. Guy in full tactical gear with a fucking sword on his back. You know what I mean? Just ready.
Yeah, genuinely underused aesthetic.
Peak underused aesthetic. Cool. Like, oh, yo, we got guns and shit, but hey, yo, this is an enchanted sword, bitch. I'll slice through anything.
It's like, this shit blocks for me, bro.
9 times out of 10, if you throw a sword on something, you're gonna have a good time with it. Honestly, God.
Like, it'd be so. It's like an underutilized like SCP kind of shit where it's like, yeah, it's like an organization that deals with magic, so they've advanced with the times with guns, but it's like, oh yeah, like we still have enchanted shit that we have from like everything. We will continue.
Sometimes you need to slice a motherfucker, bro.
Werewolf comes at you. Sometimes you might need to slice that motherfucker with a silver sword. It's just kind of how it works.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Silver bullets are expensive, dude.
That would be a fantastic concept.
Dude, like a modern day game of like a Witcher would be so cool. Now that you've like kind of like brought that aesthetic up.
Yeah.
That, like if they was just like, fuck it, we're just
trench coat. It's just blade,
day.
Bro. Trench coat and sword. Trench coat and sword, bro. Got a big ass revolver. You had to get him a big ass revolver. Like you just have to.
I would have to. I can't wait for that Blade game. Hopefully that one doesn't get canceled. I put it out there.
Jesus, no, please. But What about you, Amani?
There's so much.
There's a lot that you consume, honestly,
Jesus.
too. Like you're also somebody that consumes a lot of fucking
Comic
media.
book guy, Ahmani.
A lot of comic books.
Yeah, that's the number one. Like, that's the number one in comparison to everybody, because, like, that's the one that stands out the most. But, like, I'm into, like, so much. Like, animation-wise, like, I love anything that's, like, animated, obviously. For, like, obviously video games, writing, and all that stuff. So, like, I guess I'll ask you guys to ask me, what exactly do you want to pull from me? Because the vastness is as so out there that I don't actually know what to grab.
What made
Story writing.
yeah, what's
What-
gets
what-
you to writing
what-
so much?
Yeah.
Also, I love writing too. Writing is amazing. Like feeling good, like writing good story out. Feels
Oh,
good.
dude, I like creating things,
Mhm.
and so for me, coming up with stories, I've always been like a really easy storyteller.
hmm
It comes like water, dog. Like, it's just so easy.
Mhm.
And that's not even like to dunk on anybody that like is out there trying to like have a difficult time, but like the way my brain works with stories is that like I could kind of just make a story from almost anything. Like, it could be this tiniest thing and go. I just did it like 2 seconds ago. Aaron brought up like an aesthetic, and I was like, a Witcher game. A Witcher game. You said Blade works. I could come up with something for that instantly. Technically, there's also that game called like what is it? Something Us. That's coming out too. That actually is pretty close to that. But like, it just flows. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I've tried to describe it before of like the snowball effect, where it's just like I have like a thought, and that thought just turns into another thought and another thought, and then it just keeps building and building and building and building.
Man,
until,
we
like,
gotta write a show
all right,
one day.
I've made a world.
We're gonna make the best world one day.
He's like, oh shit, there's a world. Yeah, no, I feel you. And it's gotten to the point where like, especially since I really started writing, I had so many ideas for so many cool stories that I was like, well, I gotta start writing them down or something, because like my brain's not gonna remember all of these like.
I feel like you, me, and
perfectly-
Devaughn would be like a great group to like just bounce ideas and write shit together. Honestly,
yeah.
just sit down, because like we both like. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. You are way more forgiving of things as long as you think they're cool. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if they do, as long as they do
I
like
appreciate the art
something
form of it.
for you that's interesting, you're very forgiving of a lot of things, which is
rule of
I think
cool.
not bad.
Mm.
And like you're very like rule of cool, whereas I tend to very much fall into a very almost practical sense of things, like real, very not maybe not realistic, but practical. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like
You're like,
sometimes you just have
it's
to
not
do
doing this,
something
and therefore.
cool. Like real,
Mm.
like I always think of like realistically, why does this thing develop?
How does it
this
work?
thing? And why?
Mhm.
Like why did like why do they use a spear instead of any other weapon? Something like that. Whereas you'd be like, oh, spears are cool. Yeah, but like why? You know what I mean? Like, so like it'd be good because it's like you'd be like, no, we can do this, and I feel like in a way like you can bounce ideas off each other, and we'd be able to come up with an idea of like why do they use spears? You know what I mean?
Give
Like,
me
what's the
it would
fucking
give me the
reason,
questions to answer, because like
You know.
because sometimes I don't think, and I try to do that because I think I had that happen to me once where I was explaining something to someone and they was just like, well, why does this exist? And at the time I was like, I
And I
don't
hadn't thought
know.
of that. I don't know.
I
It
hadn't
just looked
thought
cool.
about it. I just
hadn't
didn't think
thought
about it like that.
Oh,
And
there
like,
we go.
like, as I thought about it, I was like, all right, I have an answer for that now. But like, it's just I never gave the thought
Yeah.
at all at any point.
Mhm.
As I've done more like working on like my book that I've been working on and stuff like that, those questions and stuff like that I've been trying to ask myself more
Yeah.
often and kind of use to do stuff. But when they were just ideas, like I was just like, I don't know, it's cool. But you're not wrong. It's like it's just cool as shit.
Like there's
why would you not use
sometimes
it?
it's like as you're writing, you're just thinking of like this would fit well, it flows well,
Yeah.
fits in nice, and then as you're kind of like sometimes you go over it's okay, but sometimes you got to go think about the why. And I feel like sometimes I think way too much about why. Like
Yeah, the why.
whenever I'm writing something, I end up like almost Tolkien in it, where I'm like I'm explaining something I don't fucking need to explain realistically. I should just I need to stop this. I need to focus on actually what's going on real quick.
I have
Because-
a really big
yeah.
problem on that. Once I get into like, okay, what's the nitty gritty about this? Just I
know,
can't
You
stop
lock
going
into
into that
that.
rabbit hole. I'm like, shit, I gotta cut that back. Push.
especially as
I'll
you're
see
starting
back.
something out, like it gives you
Mhm.
those are like good notes to take, you know, for later. But sometimes
Mhm.
in like when you're in the starting something, you kind of just have to, you know, just do
You
it
gotta just
cool,
let it
you know,
flow sometimes.
kind of let it flow.
Let the cool flow, and then like you answer those questions. Not so much later, but like usually you want answers before you put pen to page in some instances,
Mhm.
right? So like
Mm.
obviously if you want to do like a magic system and you're like, why does the magic work like this? It's like you probably want to know why it works like this or how it works, right? Before you start doing things. But that's like
You know,
the difference
sometimes
between like a hard and soft
It's
magic
magic.
system.
It
So
just
yeah,
works.
that's like the
So-
hard even like in sci-fi,
that's
there's
a
like
soft
hard
system.
there's like hard realism sci-fi and like more like
Mhm.
genuine fantastical sci-fi. Like there's a difference there even in that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I feel like it's easy because like for you consume a lot of media in
Mhm.
general. Like you read a lot of comic books. Like what's
Oh,
the
yeah.
probably the, what was the first, was it Spider-Man? What got
Spider-Man
you
was
into comic
Spider-Man.
books? Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was easily Spider-Man. Spider-Man was like the first.
Spider-Man. Had to be.
It's the first superhero I was introduced to, so by default, he just kind of it went from there. Like my parents, I think they just showed me like a Spider-Man game at some point. Like they just was like,
Love-
the first video game
This
I
is in
ever
with the
owned.
kids.
The first video game I ever owned was a Spider-Man game. The first game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog. Like
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
how that worked.
Sonic.
And then
Two
my
very
parents was
specific
just like,
kind of characters. I feel like they're both
Uh-huh.
as much as Spider-Man and Sonic aren't the same. They have a very
They have,
they
like,
fit the
similar vibe.
same they fit the same niche of
Mhm.
wisecracking, you know,
Yeah.
kind of literally underdog character.
Dog
You know what
hero,
I
yeah.
mean?
And
It's
then
actually
obviously
super
like
powerful.
That's
as a
actually
little
pretty
kid-
strong and very powerful and is very altruistic, very
Yeah.
like but he's also kind of like short-sighted, you know what I mean? Like I just
Mhm.
feel like it's very interesting.
Yeah, you described
And then
like
as a little kid, obviously, like growing up in New York, you wander around and you see like a
Yeah.
newspaper stand, and obviously as a kid, I'm like, oh shit, it's Spider-Man. Like he's on the TV and everything, obviously by default because he has cartoons. But like it's like, oh shit, it's Spider-Man, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a Spider-Man book. You want the Spider-Man book? We just give you the Spider-Man book, and from there on, I'm like reading comics. Especially when like I have like parents that kind of just they weren't into it. Like my mom was like kind of into some stuff comic book wise, and like my dad obviously saw them. He drew. He did a lot of drawing, so like he obviously just had that part. And they were just like, yeah, nah, here, like check it out. Look at the thing. And so like from there, I kind of just went with the flow on that one. The characters just always been kind of both those characters have kind of just always been with me since I was little. And so I was just kind of like, yeah, nah, it just carries over. I'm like, oh. And as I grow up, I find out that they have more like adult stories or like stories that like continue to be like more interesting and like more
Mhm.
fascinating. I'm like, oh yeah. And then obviously I'm watching the TV show, I'm reading the comic books, and I'm like, who's that character, right? It was like, because they'll show someone up, like, oh shit, War Machine pulled up for some reason. I'm like, who the fuck is War Machine? Learn about War Machine. The Fantastic Four pull up. I'm like, they seem cool. What's up with them? Learn about Black Panther that way. You're like, oh shit, that dude's cool. And like, obviously, much like how you were saying with like the rule of cool, like things just kind of flowed. And like, even if I didn't have a direct attachment to all of those characters, I'm like, that dude's cool as fuck. Like I just think a ton of superhero characters are just cool. Like I don't think I've ever owned a Ghost Rider comic in my life. I don't think I've owned anything Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's cool as fuck. He just is. Because I know enough about the characters just to be
You
like,
talk about Aura? Yeah.
yeah, he's dope.
Oh, he Aura
That's not
status.
true. I did have the movie because the movie did come out, but like after a certain point for me, like anything Marvel and DC related, to be fair, I kind of grew up on Marvel, but like I obviously swung over the pendulum and was like, hey, what's going over there? Oh,
No.
Batman's cool.
No, he says
Batman's
swung
really cool.
over. That's crazy work.
Hey, you just swing up. It's a little pendulum. And like obviously DC's got their cool things going on because
Yeah, Batman.
Batman's interesting. Like you wasn't a fan of Superman. I am now more of it's crazy. I am now more of a fan of Superman as an adult. than I ever was as a kid.
Bro, I love the Joker, bro.
He
He's
was
my
just so Superman was just so overpowered for me that I was just like, eh. And now I kind of get it. I get the nuance. I'm like, oh no, he's actually kind of sick.
I got a
He's
green
kind of
rock for
really
his
cool.
ass.
He's kind of like really cool. Like I kind of fuck with him, like kind of heavy, because like you reach a point of power where you start to do certain things that I'm no, there's just no way that that's not interesting, right? That's cool. When you have a situation where you get locked in, they put you in a box in a different dimension and say, "Fuck you, you stay over there. We're not gonna see you again. We just won't." And you find a way to get out of that. Of course you're gonna be like, and he shows up right on time, just in time when things are looking bad. You're like, okay, all right. I don't know how he did it, and they explain it, and you're like, okay, that's kind of sick. He flew through dimensions. He flew so fast. He got to that point. He was like, I had to lock in that hard. That's kind of crazy. I think a huge part of that is like anime stuff too. Like, just checking out, because much like with Leon, where you have like your overpowered characters that you like. I don't like overpowered characters as much as you do, but I like overpowered feats, right? Better. So like, for instance, like Azora's Wrath, for instance. The coolest thing about Azora's Wrath, besides obviously the dude's like fighting planet-sized niggas, um, is the setting of his last fight is on a concept, which is the event horizon. And I'm sitting there going like, do you know how crazy, like, ridiculously
Fighting on a
conceptual you have to
concept
be?
is?
You're fighting on a concept. How did you like? Like that's wild, right?
I think
Or like
most
Gurren
people don't
Lagann
think
when you're
about
like,
that unless you are like really into if you know your what was it? It's not the astrology. It's why can't I think of the damn word?
Monday.
Like I know what the fucking word is.
But it's just like stuff like that. It's me because I'm like, oh, that's cool as fuck. Like I've never thought about something like that. That's kind of sick. um,
Oh,
or like I think Deadpool did something really interesting where like he was fighting an evil version. It was Deadpool Killstrated, right? And so the deal is that like the evil version of Deadpool, the one that comes from the he killed the Marvel universe, is essentially going around and saying I can go even further, and so he's starting to kill uh the inspirations for things in fiction, and that is erasing everything that's inspired by it. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
that's kind of cool.
What is all that?
You want to talk about stakes? That's some stakes right there. But it's like I like meta contextual things and that kind of nature. It's stuff like that as well. Like I kind of like the idea of fiction and where you can go with it, and how like crazy you can push it and still like allow yourself to be like, yeah, this makes total sense, right? So like that's why I'm like beats kind of do it more than like the character themselves, because when you're having like situations like that and you're like that's kind of sick, but if you're just like OP for OP's sake, where it's just like, oh yeah, nah, I always have the answer and I'm like the coolest thing, it should be a struggle that you got here. And like Gurren Lagann is the perfect example of like, you start off the series, can barely defeat one big robot. You barely defeat one big robot with one little robot. End of the series, we're chucking galaxies at motherfuckers.
standing on galaxies.
Chucking more little, smaller galaxies at individuals. Your cape goes on for infinity. That's crazy. That's a big gap. I didn't expect to get here. But you're not wrong. The sake of cool is I'm much more willing to enjoy the journey of something. I like the journey of like a story in a lot of cases. And that's kind of like part of why I like creating stuff too, is that I enjoy the the journey aspect of it, of going like, we're starting here, and where we end up, we'll figure it out. And if it makes sense for like the story, it's cool. If it's a little weird, I'm kind of down, depending on how weird it is. um, but that's kind of why I'm like, so it's not really inherently just the sake of cool. I like the sake of cool, but like,
It's a cool
it's
guy.
more so, it's just like, this is the story, I'm gonna let it play out, and if this is the way they want to take it, I'm down, because I'm already invested. Unless it's fairy tale. Unless fairy tale just it just
Yeah, I know you do not like fairy tale.
I've always described this as that, like, I
Mm.
have my suspension of disbelief is very strong.
Yeah.
So like, you can get away with a lot of shit, but the moment you break that shit, for me, I'm like, you've already fucked up on like a monumental scale. Because I allow a lot, like you said, I will allow a lot of shit just because of the fact that you're just like, we're gonna see where it goes. This is your story. What you doing with it, right?
Perfect example, not story wise, but D&D wise, was last session with us trying to intimidate one guy. Failed completely. You let that go on for so long.
That shit was just funny.
I
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I knew it was gonna happen as soon as he should not be named. I was like, I'm gonna slap this guy. I'm like, oh, he's dead. This guy's it's over. I just leaned back. I'm like, it's over. I'm so glad Rich wasn't there, like at all. Like I was just like, damn, I'm good.
It's like, I don't have to worry about this at all.
God, that shit's fucking funny.
I felt like I was going to do something off it, but then Chini just said, no. He said he'll help, and then Ahmani did his thing. It's like, fuck all.
Again.
I'll just let things happen. That's how I play as a DM. I'll just allow things to vibe, and you're not wrong. I probably should kind of rein you guys in a little bit more, because sometimes I will admit, in a decent amount of situations, you guys will just end up in places where I'm like, all right, so how do I get you guys back?
But allow me to do this random thing right now, please.
Please.
That's the definition of he shall not be named on that.
Please.
Let me do this thing.
Please. Look at me now. Let me talk over everybody now.
But yeah, nah, it's just so fascinating to me to just watch where things go and watch how a story flows. Unfortunately, that is why I don't want to DM the superhero one, because I'm like, bro, I don't want to watch. I want to be in the story. Just fuck that. I want to control that shit. I want to help push that narrative, because that seems so fun in comparison. But like, it is why I like D&D. It's why I like writing. It's all kind of flows into the same thing, where it's just like, I just like stories, man. I just fuck with the vibes of stories. I think one of the things I found myself doing a lot is that I like to digest stuff that might be a little bit above my intelligence range, because I want to figure out more about it, right? In some instances. So like, there's just stuff that I know for a fact, I'm like, I've gone through several bits of like Lovecraft, and I understand Lovecraft, but like, there are some stories where I'll listen to it and go like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
I'll be honest with you, that's not even your fault. Some of Lovecraft stories are genuinely just weird. Like, as much as I enjoy it, and like, I like Lovecraft, don't agree with the guy in any way. There's a lot that I don't like about him as a person. And honestly, once you read a bunch of his... I feel like you've read a bunch of his stories, but a bunch of his stories are just representations of just how fucking neurotic this guy was. This guy was fucked up. His dad was fucking sent to a fucking insanity ward after being insane for a while. His mom wasn't apparently like... He was a fucked up person. He was like, there's a lot of things about him, but like, his stories, one of his stories is literally him being afraid of air conditioners. Like, it's just nothing. He's just afraid. He was so afraid of everything that sometimes he just put that like fear to page, and that's what he did. And when you read it, you're like, I don't know what the fuck happened. You know, like, have you read the one about the wizard, like the wizard one about the guy who's like got his family, his like great grandfather or something like that got cursed by a wizard, that their bloodline would always die before they were like,
yes,
like 30 or something. And then spoiler for anyone that wants to read this, whatever, actually genuinely spoiler alert, at the end of it all, there's no magic involved. Turns out the wizard is just hunting them down and killing them all before they turn a certain age. There's no magic, nothing crazy. The dude's just breaking into their house and shanking them. That's it. There's
it.
no magic. It's just that's the thing. It's so funny because it's like that's honestly hilarious that there's no magic involved. But what the fuck?
You're like, what?
Get
All right, I
trolled.
guess.
Like
Yeah,
the main character's freaking out. Like, how has he done this? How is he doing this? You know, how does he know? How did he know that this is like I'm cursed? Oh my god! No, turns out the fucking guy was just breaking in and killing people. Nothing crazy at all. This guy just was very mad.
You just
You
need
know,
to
the
do
better
that.
question is how long has this curse been going on for? Because this man who's been hunting
Oh yeah, he's
should
old.
be like in his
He's
like,
like an
20,
he's like an
200.
old ass man from what I understand, and like I don't know if he's like an actual wizard. It's never explained, I think, but it's just
But there's
straight
just
up.
no magic.
There's no magic involved. This guy's just breaking in and killing, just shanking them in their fucking sleep.
That's
But
That's
nobody knows
hilarious.
why. They just keep dying.
You know, so like I feel like sometimes what happens is like with me is I have to consume something multiple times. Like I'll have to reread something.
And
or-
you know what? That's what I think it comes down to sometimes, where it's just like I will plow through a story the one time sometimes and be like, "Damn, I might not completely."
Sometimes
this.
you need to read things slow. Like realistically, there are sometimes
Like
things
for
that you
instance,
just need to-
Pluto is super good. Pluto is super good.
It
I
takes
need
a while to get
watch
through.
Pluto.
It took me a while to
I
get
need
through.
watch
Yap,
Pluto
yap,
again.
yap.
I had to like watch it in like 30-minute increments because not because I would get bored. It's just there's a lot. Even with the
There's
yapping,
just
like
a lot.
the yapping is important. This is relevant shit that's being told. So like it's a lot to consume. So like it being an hour was rough because I was like, it's not that I'm just like there's so much that I've been
Gotta lock
exposed to
in.
that I'm actually like that's a lot. So
But it was worth it.
it's worth
like
a good
in
ass
the
show.
opposite direction, like Devilman, for instance, like Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, that one just hits you so hard that
love
you need
that
to watch
show.
it again. Yeah, I love that show.
I just need to, and like I understand so much about it, obviously because I've like watched it a bunch. But I'm like,
Honestly,
Yeah,
that's a
no,
show
there's
that
just
watching
so
it on a
much
second time it makes it better because like you start noticing a lot of shit, you know,
Oh, yeah,
in the second part.
and it's like, and some of the stuff that like I really enjoy, I'll jump back into. Like I've watched both the Spider-Verse movies, like twice. I low key was able to call the plot for the second Spider-Verse movie like a big plot stinger for the second one off
think
watching
Devaughn-
the first one.
A really good show to watch multiple times. I think Devon's watched. I don't know if you guys have, but there's a show called The Good Place.
Yeah.
Devon has watched
That
it.
show
I haven't
is
watched it.
amazing to just go back and rewatch again,
Yeah.
like knowing actually
Like once
what
you
goes on.
know. Yeah.
Specifically the first season, but all of it. And I've watched it from beginning to end like good 3 times.
I never rewatched him. I never.
I rewatched it with Anna recently, and it is such a fun rewatch when you know what's going on. It's so funny.
That one seems like a really good one to rewatch. Unfortunately, I already kind of know the spoiler for it, so like I'm not gonna say it here, but it'll be interesting to watch it with the fresh eyes of going like, okay,
Yeah, like
I already
watching it with
kind of
Anna,
know what's
who had
going
no
on.
context of it was so great
Yeah.
because I was like, yes. You know the goblin, the little goblin. But yeah, no, I do feel comfortable saying that like nobody in our group has like horrendous taste on everything. Some of us have some people have a few questionable things here and there.
Some people definitely
You know,
have some
but
opinions.
100% overall, I don't think like anybody's got like horrendous. 100% every opinion.
I won't say anybody has downright horrendous taste, but there are some
so
opinions.
close.
There are some opinions that I'm like, bro,
we had a whole moment of a very bad one before starting.
always have a bad opinion on me. I
Wait, who?
still stand by this, man. Jones, because I can say this with Jones. Jones has good taste, but Jones always has like the
God.
worst opinion on like the thing
Jones
that like
is just
feels
an
like it
elite
should
level
be.
hater, bro.
Like,
If he
he's a
doesn't like
contrarian.
something, if he doesn't like, he's a contrarian, and if he doesn't like something, he will like refuse to acknowledge the shit you say. That like, I'll be honest, he is annoying. He's very like. He can be kind of annoying to argue with because he'll just ignore what you say sometimes and like keep saying something, and it's like, bro, just listen for like a second, man. Like, hey,
Give me a second.
you know.
I can do like a 2-hour podcast talk about Jones, but I'm not.
The context for that one that was still kind of funny to me is just the fact that like we went from like because we were talking about world building. So the two worst people at opinions decided to have opinions today. So
shall not be
who shall not be named
Oh, don't talk about
decided.
that. Oh wait,
No, no,
hold
no,
Wait,
we
what
can
did he
put it
say?
on quick. He
What
who
did
shall
he
not
not
be
be-
named
the thing that
decided
happened
to
today.
mention that world building.
Oh.
He said Dragon Ball has some of the best world building.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
and we was like, okay, like relax.
It doesn't
'Cause
have.
he's like
It
he's-
has.
actually he
it
said it had the
certainly has
best
world building
because
Some.
he's not the kind of person to just say, you know, it has one, because I said it has one of the best, right? And that has room for interpretation. You're like, sure, whatever, you can like it, right? Nah, the way he has to say it is that it has to be a fact. Like, it has the best.
I think he was actually comparing it to Solo Leveling during that time, because he said that Solo
either
Leveling
way.
didn't have any or something like that.
And everybody was like, okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Relax. I can name off stuff that has better world buildings than Dragon Ball. We have no problem with Dragon Ball. All of us, for the most part, here enjoy it, right? I can for sure name off stuff that has better world building than Dragon Ball. In fact, I will start naming things now, and we started naming things. We get to Attack on Titan. And Jones had the bright idea of like, no, because first,
Oh, when they joined sides, I was like, oh my fucking
dude. First he said,
god.
the world building in Attack on Titan isn't great, and I'm like, bro, that's like half the plot is
Like,
the world building.
The whole point of Attack on Titan is that once you watch the end, going back to the beginning, there are like hints of
It
the world
changes
building in
everything,
season
yeah.
3 in season 1. Like what? Like I get not liking it where the story went. Totally get that, but
I
they
get that.
literally all that guy did was make sure there was world building, if anything. Like that.
If anything, there was nothing but world building. I was like, bro, are you bugging? I was like, are you kidding, right? And Jones was like, I have to agree because Code Geass has better world building, and I'm like,
That's a totally
that's
different.
not the
That's a
not
totally
the
different
answer.
argument, though. I love
That's
Jones.
not even-
Jones will come out of left field with something completely random, and it's like, what the fuck? We're not discussing that.
But I was like, I was like, who the fuck? I literally was like, you know what? Code Geass probably does have really good world building. It might have better world building. I don't know. I haven't watched Code Geass. It's on my list of things I'm gonna go check out at some point because people keep talking about it. But I had to look at it. It was like, who the fuck mentioned Code Geass? you can mention it in this argument. Clearly, it has good world building. Like we could put that on the list. But who said anything about it being better or worse than Attack on Titan? Who the fuck mentioned that? He was like,
I had to explain, and he quieted down after that. After I gave the breakdown, but still,
but even still, you're sitting there going like, the whole. And then I had to explain to Hero Should Not Be Named. It was like, yo, part of the plot, part of the world building. I still think this is one of the best like world building moments in a lot of things, and is genuine a lot of things. Is the idea of these people living in, as far as we know, like a slightly more advanced medieval society, right? Like just kind of like a couple, probably like more Renaissance era kind of situation. And then they see a photograph, and you yourself look at it and go like, a photograph, okay, who cares? And then the characters go like, what the fuck is that? And you're like, oh. oh. And that in, at least in my head, takes you from like Renaissance to, yo, you are somewhere else right now. If this exists, the amount of technology you actually have is way different.
Yeah, like it literally expand. Like obviously, the world building doesn't make sense when you first get introduced to it because it's like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like when I first watched that like Jump, I was like, am I watching the same show? Am I like on episode 9 or something? Did I skip the beginning? No, it just wants to throw you off because it's like, oh yeah, by the way, all that shit about them. Yeah, no. That was bullshit. This is actually what we're dealing with. Here you go.
Yeah.
And it's that explosion of like literally like that's a problem, you know.
It's an issue. I'm like, and I'm just sitting there going like, I don't understand how y'all talk about this doesn't have good world building or better world building than like Dragon Ball, which is not bad.
Like I don't want to say I'm a number one Dragon Ball hater because it's not like I go out of my way to hate on Dragon Ball. I just like doing it because it makes him like angry. realistically. But like when I think of good anime, Dragon Ball is not something I think of because to me it's like that is the hamburger and fries of anime. That's just the most generic.
Like you can't go wrong with it.
Like you can't go wrong with it. Yeah, sure, I can watch a couple episodes and turn my brain off. But like you know, I want some seasoning. I want some spice. You know, like I want something. You know, I want a fucking steak sometime.
I won't discredit it for what it is. It is very, very much like the grandfather of shonen. Like if it wasn't for
like that's what I'm saying. Like a burger and fries goes hard. Don't get me wrong. A burger and fries go hard.
But the depth that he shall not be named says sometimes is like
he's a number one glazer to be honest.
No, yeah, he's 110%.
He's an elite tier dick rider and
he will
a top tier
lick that
glazer.
shit up regardless.
So like you know it's just the way it is. But like
just be like that.
Like I always think like I don't know. I mean I just can't think of like he does have some like it's just sometimes it's questionable. You know what I mean? And like there's some people that like are like I don't know, Jones is just a very contrarian person, and then like you said, like he just randomly threw in Code Geass, and it's like, yeah, no, I get it. That might be like, unironically, you might be speaking facts. You're right. That might have better lore than this. You might have a point, but like that just throws a whole third option into this situation where we're discussing with two people, and like I always feel like sometimes Jones also, I'm not Jones, Pele sometimes. Like he'll go in to explain something and it's like nah dude it's okay you don't got to explain it and then he'll keep explaining it and it's like nah dude like we do get
understand.
We understand you don't got to keep you know and like there's people that like when it comes to like yeah we like I feel like Pelly just likes explaining shit because he knows it and he likes explaining shit to people and I get that and like but like so like it's just sometimes it's like no Pelly it's okay we don't need it we don't need this whole thing right now it's okay we get it you know what I mean it can just happen.
But to cycle back to our thing, yeah, I think that does it. We actually got through everybody's.
I feel like there's a lot of things that
a lot of content we go through. Like we all different music, different.
We could expand on a lot of stuff if you really wanted to. Shoot.
It's also kind of cool because I think one nice thing is that in this group, at least, we all tend to expose each other to things that we were like, this shit's good. I feel like these guys might like it. You know, let me show it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and usually I tend to be right. Like very often, it tends to be like you know, oh shit, we're gonna finish watching this show. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Or we'll continue it. Yeah, 9 times out of 10. Speaking of which, there's a couple animes we have not finished.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would have never watched Fluoride's Eye, VV Fluoride's Eye, if it wasn't because I'd never even heard of it. I had no idea. Like, the concept of its existence.
Banger.
You know? Absolute banger of an anime. It breaks the fucking rule of me not liking things with overcomplicated names, you know? Because that shit's a banger. I'll recommend that shit. I don't even care how it sounds. Like, hell yeah. This shit right here. S tier, fuck S tier, like fucking Omega tier, bro. This shit's amazing.
Windbreakers, I think that was one of them.
We need to continue watching. We only watched like the first episode.
Yeah, the first episodes. Funny enough, because of Aaron Pure Cure, Princess
yeah,
Pure
dude.
The one magical girl.
Love after World Domination.
Yes, that one too.
Bro, Pure Cure had some like I was like I need to show these guys this fucking fight. There's no fucking way. Like I just saw this shit with my own 2 eyes.
I think I wanted to show you guys Free Rin. I wanted you all to see that one.
Oh yeah. I do need to watch that.
To Your Eternity was another one.
Look, bro. Don't get mad at me. I was watching it and then I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. I just stopped. And then I started up again, and then I stopped again. I have to go back to that. Because it's so fucking good. But I have no idea why I keep stopping that series.
It can be a lot sometimes.
It's so good. They also do be hitting me in the feels sometimes.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
like, damn it, bro. If they kill another nigga.
Yes. You do not know how sad I was with some of those scenes. Reading it, I'm like, oh, no. Fuck.
I think the last thing I think I'm further than this, but the last thing I remember is the enemy.
Like getting introduced to it, or
that fight, like
all
the
right.
fight for that one.
All right.
But the enemy.
All right.
And understanding that, I was like,
you there. Oh,
which is why I'm like, bro, I don't know why I keep stopping, because obviously
you
just
you are about
flicking
to
that at me.
witness some
Flicking
some
that at me. I'm
stuff
going like,
after
excuse
that.
me, there's a rival, and like that's all I needed, and I just haven't.
You're right after that moment. If I'm thinking correctly, there is interactions in a little story arc. It's just damn.
So more pain.
Yes.
Bring it on. Ready to be hurt.
You're just Cusco right now, just trapped to a log.
Yes. Also, goated movie. Fucking
Yes.
Emperor's New
Yes,
Groove.
it is.
Did y'all see the
It's so
fucking
corny.
Stitch trailer for like the
Yes.
3D?
It
did.
seems pretty good.
It's
Possibly.
pretty. It's looking pretty.
They made Stitch not
1-to-1.
look as weird. I think they changed
Mhm.
how it looked a little bit. So I was like, yeah, that's. Turns out you can bully studios into making their shit better.
But has
I also
anyone
think when
seen?
we saw him early, it was just kind of like an early thing. Like, I don't think it was.
I
Done.
fucks with it.
Has anyone seen Snow White yet?
No.
No,
I don't want
it. Things recently,
Dude,
though.
I knew that movie was gonna bomb because Rachel Ziegler had a whole fucking falling out with the whole universe.
Oh yeah,
apparently.
she was just like, this movie's ass, bro.
It wasn't even that it was ass. She was incredibly like. I feel like the part was
She
that
didn't like it.
So you wanna watch it right now?
she hated the original Snow White movie originally. She was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna make it like it was in the 1950s. We're not gonna have the prince save her." And it's like, what do you mean? Like
What?
the prince shows up twice in the movie. Like
only got,
actually,
like,
like the actual
2
animated.
parts.
He's not even close to the main character. Like Snow White goes through some shit, and then they did the whole, I don't know. But they did.
Oh,
They,
there was,
CGI
there was the
dwarves.
obvious kind of casting of her, which was a little.
I'm not
weird
gonna
to
lie,
me
bro.
because-
I had people be like, "How do you feel about it? You're Hispanic." I'm like, bro, her name is Snow White. Her like, as much as I am okay for diversity and everything, I think realistically, most of the time for
It's
an
like
animated
the
thing, it
one
doesn't matter.
princess movie.
But like the story for Snow White is very
It's like the one.
and very emphatic on the whole white as snow thing about her
Mhm.
skin, and I'm just sitting there like. You could have had like a Korean girl play her, and I don't think anyone would have fucking complained because they're pale as shit. Literally, just had to pick someone pale as shit. That's all you fucking had to do.
That's the
You could
one
have picked
thing
a
you had to
pale.
do.
There are pale Hispanic people. You could have picked a pale Hispanic person for fuck's sake, man. Argentinians exist. Like what the fuck? Like it's just like crazy because I'm just like of all the
Bro,
princesses.
you could have picked an albino person and just dyed
like
her
shit,
hair
fuck it.
black.
Shit, fuck it. Yeah, exactly. Anything.
No, you could have just did that. Like,
that mixed with like in the early interviews she just shit talked the original movie, which was kind of
Yeah.
crazy because Snow White, I don't know if y'all know this, is one of the first movies that Walt Disney Pictures produced in general. Like
Yeah.
it was Walt Disney's baby, like actual
They think,
genuine
yeah.
baby. This man worked on this shit, and like it was followed by like bangers like Bambi and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like this is what started off a whole era of things. You know what I mean? And like
animation as a whole.
shitting on it, although yeah, the movie does have some age things. The whole thing about them saying like, oh, we don't want to depict the dwarves, depict people, it might be insulting, so we're just not gonna hire little people. We're gonna make them CGI, even though
Even though they
arguably that's
love
more
and
fucking
want those
insulting.
roles.
Like arguably at least give little people the role to play little people. Like what the fuck, you know what I mean?
Like at the very least, let them play themselves. What?
And then like
It's crazy.
the whole like they were talking about how like they're like we might not even have the prince in this thing, and it's like first of all like why would you like the whole idea of the
What
whole
is the
movie is
movie?
that true love is what saves it, what saves her because
Yeah.
the prince just happens to find her and goes, oh, this woman, like I fell in love with her in the woods that one time that we met because I'm also a young man, and like
He was like a
boom,
genuinely care, yeah.
that's what it is. It's like I get if you want to make her more, I don't know, important, which was wild because she is very important. Like
She's the main character.
she shows up and goes like, I'm gonna clean this place because I feel like it's a little weird because like they were like, we're not gonna
guess
have her
In
clean.
her story, she doesn't actually have that much agency because, like, in the original Snow White, when you think about it, it's like, okay,
mean-
she's essentially like attacked by her.
She gets betrayed
godmother.
and then she finds
Yeah.
the dwarves, but her agency comes from the fact that she doesn't just become like a servant to the dwarves. She becomes like part of their family as a whole.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Like yeah, these guys are out mining and shit, but it's like it's nice that they help her. They don't want to like do anything to her. They're totally fine with her just living in their house
Like
now.
if she wanted to live there or like leave, yeah.
They're not gonna let anybody hurt her, realistically. Like the whole point of it is like
she's not there desperately.
She might not have agency, but the whole point is she's just an innocent girl who didn't really want this shit, so she ends up surviving an assassination attempt on her, and then it happens again. And it's just like, damn, poor girl. Like fuck.
And they could probably add more characterization in the.
They did. I mean, have y'all seen Snow White? Unironically, Snow White and the Huntsman exist. Both those movies,
That's
just
true.
two of them, they were actually not horrendous, pretty decent.
They are better.
There was a Snow White movie called oh my god, it was a different name, but it was with the girl from Emily in Paris,
Okay.
like that actress. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Isn't Kristen Stewart in the Snow White and the Huntsman?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Snow White. Okay, cool.
Fucking what's his face? The guy that plays Thor was in it too.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth is he's the Huntsman.
He's the Huntsman. It was Mirror. There was a movie in 2012 called Mirror that was a Snow White adaptation that did what they were trying to do better in every single fucking way, shape, and form. Like every single way, shape, and form. They have the dwarves basically be like bandits that wear like these like accordion stilts that make them giant to like fight all these people. So they're like assassins in the woods that like steal from like the soldiers for the queen, right? And they rescue her and they teach her how to fight. And she becomes like this badass kind of like Zorro kind of character, you know what I mean, kind of thing against the queen.
Cool. Yeah,
and like the fucking little people are played by little people, awesome. But not only that, they're fucking cool as shit. They're like doing front flips and fighting off people and everything. Like it's badass as fuck, you know what I mean? So like they did it better in every single way, and it was done in 2012. So like fuck Disney.
That's fair.
Precarious, like it's super hard. Like fuck them.
Yeah, they did it. Apparently, that movie is not great. That movie is.
I don't want to watch it either. Like I was like, I thought Anna would want to watch it. She's like, I don't want to watch this movie, and I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie, this is not on my list of movies to like make you guys watch and be like,
I'm pissed off because the outfit looks like something that they bought at Party City, mainly. Like genuinely, the outfit she wears looks horrendous. I need to know. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, I'm looking at the photos from like, I'm like, where's her red bow? She has a red bow. Where the fuck is the red bow? What the fuck? Like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
What are we doing? It's the one thing she's got.
She has this really cool dress with really cool patterns that it genuinely looks like a Party City version of it.
Oh yeah, the original version of her dress is. I'm not thinking about it. The original version of her dress shouldn't work color wise, but it does. It's do. Because I distinctly remember it being
yellow
like
and
it's
white.
yellow. It's yellow with white like
It's
fringes at the bottom.
It's a
It has,
yellow.
like, the
It's a
red
yellow bottom
inlays.
with blue and red and white at the top.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, why does that work?
I mean,
It
it's supposed
does.
to be old looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
true.
at the same
It's
time,
very
so,
like Renaissance. Well, yeah, Renaissance-esque.
kind of like German, I guess, really more than anything.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyways, sorry. Not watching that fucking movie, bro. I mean, I'll pirate it. I'll pirate that shit. Fuck it.
That's something that we're not. I mean, that's something we don't. We just don't.
I went looking for it at 2.1 on IMDb. I was like, God,
IMDb.
damn. I got anywhere.
And what about like I always look at the people scores. You know what I mean? I just know that it's empty as shit in theaters. Like it's doing horrendous in theaters right now.
Yeah, it's a flop, absolute flop.
There's like people that like
Big
there's
sad.
like 10 whole theaters showing it, and there's like 3 people that show up to watch it.
That'd be crazy.
It's kind of like how Mufasa got beaten by Sonic.
Yeah,
That
which
Mufasa
kinda sucks
movie.
because I actually watched Mufasa. Mufasa's not bad.
God, it's just an unnecessary movie that doesn't do anything, and like it
Here's the craziest part.
I hate the 3D.
It's more interesting than the original remake. Despite the cast.
I'm not
of the
gonna lie.
original
If it was
remake being kinda
hand
fun.
drawn and animated, I probably would have cared. I do not like. It's uncanny to me to watch those animals move and talk. It just doesn't look good. It is an immediate like destruction of my suspense of disbelief. Like the moment that I see this ultra realistic cat move its jaw up and down like that and move its lips, my brain just goes, "What the fuck am I looking at? That's a fucking skinwalker! Shoot that fucking thing!"
It just looks weird. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree. It probably would have been better if it was like classically animated
Or 3D animate that shit. Fuck
absolutely.
it. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
Because there was like some comparisons when that came out originally, where if someone drew like Lion King in their original art style versus what they did, and it looks phenomenal. Just do it like that. But no,
But I will say this, it was. I did watch Mufasa. It was definitely entertaining. I liked it. It was about. I didn't really get to talk about it too much, but it's cool. It's cool. Mufasa's a little bit of a snake, but it's okay.
Yeah, it also,
It's okay.
I'll be honest with you, it's a movie that serves to do nothing more than to character assassinate, like, a fucking cool character as well.
Oh, no, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't actually character assassinate Mufasa. The problem is
Their parents also suck, too.
it kind of dunks on Scar a little bit more than necessary, especially since like, I mean, I kind of talk about the movie, like especially since like Scar in the beginning of that movie, he has a negative character arc, obviously, but like he starts off in such a good spot that you're like, damn, this sucks. Like Scar getting dunked on like this is ass, and it's not inherently trying to like. It's not like a Wicked situation where it's like, oh look, Mufasa was the villain the whole time. No, it's not that. But like, you do walk away going like, I kind of get why he's so mad.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. It was like they just put him in such a bad position. And Mufasa is he's kind of treated a bit more like the reluctant kind of hero kind of situation. Like he's like, I really don't want to be in this scenario and don't want to have to deal with these problems. I really shouldn't be. And everybody's kind of like, you gotta do it, bro.
now you're
It's
him.
really
You
simple.
got it. You're him.
You gotta do it. You're the only one that can. And it's like, I guess. It's actually weirdly similar to Simba, but there is way more purpose in Mufasa doing what he does. But it's in a weird position where it's like because it's a prequel, you kind of know where everyone ends up anyway, which is, it makes it more difficult to kind of like fully lock in, because that's just what happens. That's the nature of a lot of prequels in the first place, is that like, since you already know where everyone's gonna be at the end of this, you're kind of just waiting for things to happen, because you know Scar's gonna be upset. You know Sarabi is Mufasa's wife, right? So it's like, you kind of know where people are gonna be. So watching it happen is still interesting, but you're kind of like, yeah, that's about right. I was just wondering what is gonna kick in.
What's that little switch that makes him that?
Mm. Seeing the switch for Scar, I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what, man? Yeah,
It's somewhat
I
justified.
don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Was it
But, like,
wasn't
damn,
it the reason behind it? Like Scar was supposed to be with Sarabi or something like that.
It's Sarabi. It's Sarabi.
Yeah.
Because without giving too much away about not giving too much away. The idea is that Scar is originally royalty. He's supposed to be the king.
Yeah, I mean, he's
like,
the older brother.
Not even just that. Like the two, like Mufasa is a stray. Like the person who's supposed to be king is Scar, like straight up.
Oh,
And, like,
damn.
Because of how the story works out, it's
Damn.
like, oh yeah, no, it's Mufasa
Scar,
got it.
Scar got fucked over. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took
And
it the
so-
worst possible way, though. Became a villain.
He did. But like a huge part of what makes it kind of suck too is the fact that like seeing how, like, I won't say cool, but like where Scar is in the beginning, knowing that not only where everyone ends up at the beginning of Lion King, but where everybody ends up at the end of Lion King, it's like, man, this whole situation sucks. It's like everything about this is ass. Because the idea is like in the beginning they're supposed to be close, right? They are actually close. They're brothers, but they're not actually brothers, but they're brothers. And so it's like seeing how Scar was, how Mufasa was, how like the two of them looked after each other, and how they were supposed to be like. Mufasa was supposed to be like his royal guard slash like best friend, actual like basically actually his brother, and for things to play out the way they do in that movie, I'm just like, damn, bro, that's unfortunate. I get why you're like this. Did crash out. You did crash out. I'm not gonna say you didn't. But like I understand why you crashed out. Not that you just didn't need to crash out for as long as you did. Man crashed out for years, essentially. But it'd be like that. Yeah, nah. So what's another one? What's because Leon, I know you mentioned something that you definitely kind of want to bring up because you mentioned one to dive into another one.
Well,
He's thinking about it now. He disappeared for a little
oh,
bit.
it's just
He was like,
when you guys brought up the whole me doing ranked and everything. It's not that I don't like doing ranked. It's just more of
oh, like competitive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, competitive and everything. Like I've done not ranked in Marvels, I should say. I've done ranked in 14 because I play that all the time, and I think that's actually what I've been sticking to whenever I go back to it now. It's just PvP, PvP, PvP. Since the story has gotten kind of dull. And I'm not opposed to it. I actually do want to see if I can possibly get to gold like you did, Ahmani, to get the skins and everything. But
I feel you. Getting to gold was I want to crash out.
But at the same time, it's either just confidence or I don't feel like I want to hear the typical talk, I guess, of
oh, trust me. Yes, nah, I don't either. It's just a huge part of why I don't. Because I'm not a. It's not that I don't understand competitive stuff. I can get competitive. It's just that I don't enjoy either the side of me that comes out in competitive play or the side of other people that come out in competitive play. It just the experience is unenjoyable. It's not very enjoyable.
Both sides terrible.
Yeah.
And I always think it
me.
heavily depends on who's actually there genuinely.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
No,
and
it does. It does.
Our group, sadly enough, has a lot of DPSs, so it's difficult to play the people who I want to, aside from one, which is Cap. But
yeah, there's a couple people that have no problem
also,
switching.
since I picked the most difficult fucking characters to learn,
Yeah,
it kind of puts me in a pickle.
Yeah, it's also that you don't play like rivals like every single day. You don't really want to. You know what I mean? You like
that
playing
too.
other
Yes,
things.
that's
so
also
like it's one of those
well.
things. Like there's people that pick those hard characters, but that's the only game they play. But I can understand you not wanting to do that. It's fair. You like playing other shit.
Yeah.
But like it also prevents you from learning as much. If you want to get like better. But like
and
realistically, it's I don't know. Ranked is one of those things where you should only really do it if you care. I feel like if you don't care, it can be kind of rough. Or like I mainly do it because there's people that want to play it, and I'm down to help them out because I know I'm not like a dog shit teammate, and I know that they need some help. So like, fine, like I'll do it. Fuck it.
And for the most part, at least in the past, before I think Wilds came out and everything, I was pretty good with Captain America, and I gotten better with Iron Fist and such. Adam Warlock, I'm still fucking trash. My accuracy is fucking terrible.
You also picked like one of the hardest healers to learn. Like you didn't even choose like an.
I don't know why you didn't pick.
You didn't even choose like a good healer.
The only reason why I picked him is because he was a choice for a mission for the Doom City, I think it was, something like that.
Damn.
And I just like, all right, I need to do heals with him. Fine, to do it.
And then you
But,
tried
like-
it and you
And then
understood.
I'm like,
and
you
were
know
like,
what?
okay.
Why the fuck not? Let's just continue.
Oh, hell no.
I would, if you're gonna play a healer, I would recommend at least trying the other characters out because, damn, did you pick like
The worst one, yes.
you
If
can
you
no
pick
no
the
you
shark,
can be
I'm
good with Adam
leaving.
Warlock, but like that one's a rough one to just jump into in comparison. Like because his healing can be really good, and then sometimes it's like if you don't know what you're doing, that shit just does not help. It's just not helping.
And
the
I
team.
have done Sue a couple
and
times.
that's not even a you thing.
here and there.
It's not even like inherently you.
Yeah.
It's just it's his character as a whole. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, no. I've seen you get better with Captain America specifically. I still gotta yell at you sometimes.
Oh no, yeah, oh yeah.
Not even in a bad way. It's just like, yo, just come back.
I get in there a couple times. And I get too locked in getting
Come
in
back.
there,
Just come back.
or I'm not aware of my surroundings. That's another thing. I'm never aware of my surroundings. Sometimes I'm like, okay, where you guys at? And you yell at me saying, "Back here, we all die." What are you talking about?
Why are you pushing by yourself, kitty? We can't keep you alive if you go in there and die while we're not here. But that just comes with you just playing and just kind of just
Experience.
paying more attention. Yeah, you get really intense in there. Same thing with it's the same thing when you play Iron Fist. Because, like, the Iron Fist thing is like, no, I know what you're going for. Because, like, the plan is to get back there and do the backline. They've changed this character up where you don't have to be a backline anymore. You can be, like, kind of mid to, you can not fully frontline, but you can kind of fight in the front line and then hop over to the back and then jump back.
It's a mixture.
Right?
That's what I need to get used to, is hopping
It
back.
could be a
and
nice
forth
little
between
mix.
the two.
And so we're watching you jump over there and die, and we're like, just come back. You don't have to sit. You don't have to stay in the back line. We can help you. You can just use you right here. There's times where it's like you're the only DPS, and it's just like, well, not like the only DPS, but the only one we can communicate with. And we're like, dog, they're killing the healers. Can you just stay over here for like a little bit? You just help fight the things that are killing the people trying to keep you alive. But that happens. I mean, we all do that sometimes. Like Devaughn has a habit of doing that with Mr. Fantastic. Runs off, and I'm like, "What are you doing back there?
I do my thing.
Come back!"
You just be fisting him.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
do.
Big
And
fist.
he's good at it. It's just sometimes we're like, "Bro, why? Come on, just pull back, please."
No.
I do the same thing when I'm playing Captain America. Like sometimes I'll just be like, Aaron will be like, "You know, you're in there too deep," and I'm like, "I know. I'm on my way. I'm falling back. I hear you. I definitely hear you." If I'm playing Venom, it's all over, bro. I'll find my way back, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm way too far. Or better yet, I think my biggest problem when playing tank is that I'll try to push and make the space, and then like the rest of the team might die behind me. I don't know they died.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a single bit. And so I'm just like, I'm still fighting, and they're just like, you're in there alone, right? And I'm like,
Fuck.
you know. I thought I might be, but I was fighting. I was like, I should fall back. You're right, but it's too late now. Everyone's gone. But yeah, no, I totally get you. Competitive, much like Derek said, it's just definitely ranked on any game. Is just definitely something that you just do if you care.
Mhm.
More so if you care. If you don't care, or if it's really not, if you just kind of want to do it because of pure pressure, it's not really worth it. Because I can tell you this right now, I don't like playing ranked in Marvel Rebels, and for a little while, that kind of like ruined the game for me. I'm not even gonna front. I just wanted the skin, bro. That's the only reason I wanted it. That reward was almost not worth it, and I technically still don't have it. So like, it kind of wasn't worth it.
Don't you just have to wait now?
I have to wait. Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, I have to play 10 more ranked games so I can get the
Johnny
So good luck
Storm
with
one.
that.
Johnny Storm one, and I don't, dude. It's just play. It doesn't even say win. I have to play. Before it was getting the gold. I don't have to get the gold anymore. I just
It's
gotta
just
play
a
it.
rank game.
I mean, you have to
throw.
keep the rank, maybe, but
I'm worried that you do, but I think it's just like I think you have to play 10 games once the season half pass. You just have to play rank.
Well, I mean,
If you already made it to, because like the idea is like from what I understand, your highest rank had to be gold in general for you to get the skins. And since I've made it to gold, that is my highest rank for that season anyway. And so I just have to play 10 matches of ranked past the halfway point.
I hope that's right.
I hope that's right.
I don't want you to
I'm
make
really
that like,
hoping that's right.
I don't got the skin.
Because if I go
After
play my 10
all that
matches,
happened and you ranked out, you don't get it, I'd be upset.
I already passed the point to get the Sue Storm one, so I will get the Sue Storm one. But like, if I don't get the Johnny Storm one and we play and I D-rank and I didn't get those matches, I might lose it. I might crash out a little bit. I might pop like a blood vessel. But like, nah, it's only.
We're gonna try our best.
Because some of our teammates, man, I'm not even just talking about the randoms.
It's always a Shark or a Spider-Man.
Because the Shark or Spider-Man, it's fine. I mean, it's not great. Yeah, they make you crash out for sure.
He shall not be named.
But
He's
like,
fine.
Man, some of our teammates, bro, be making me kind of want to lose it. Just because of the things they say. Just because of the things they say during matches. That make me kind of just go like, bro. Like, because I'm going to be real. Gabe, for instance, Aaron, I don't know if he ever gets...
Ooh.
Gabe be making me want to throw a controller, bro, and I'm not a rageful person.
He's a fucking peak level instigator when it comes to like setting people up.
Cause he'll just say some things during a match, so I'll be like, oh man, I'm a fight. I feel like fighting. Like, Aaron, a perfect example is that there was the match where you were Hulk, and he was Thor, and we were on the spider map, the Spider-Verse map.
Mm-hmm.
And we're me and Devaughn are telling you guys we're being attacked consistently by niggas. I understood what you were doing because that's what the Hulk does. I have literally no qualms with what Aaron was doing because that's how he plays the Hulk. And he's good at it. Aaron plays the Hulk and he's fucking good at it. That's how he does it. It's like, as long as we can keep him in that fight, it's fine. But we're like literally being like, we're being attacked and we are healing you. We're trying our best to heal you. But we are being assaulted consistently. And this nigga had the audacity to look me in the eyes and was like, we didn't even need your healing. I'm doing fine without it. As I was healing him, like I just finished healing him from like nothing to full. And was talking bad shit about like how he was like, I don't even need the healers, such trash ass healers. So I'm like, why are you talking shit right now?
That's what he does.
We're like, yo, and the thing is, he's Thor. He's like one of the few tanks that can. I'm like, yo, you could just come back because he's like, oh yeah, I'm playing him as a flanker, and I'm like, why?
Wait, Thor as a flanker?
I mean, best way I can describe this.
That's what he does.
You can play him that way. Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but like,
anybody can be a flanker.
Tank.
I mean, he is basically a DPS that has the hell of a tank. Like, he is a DPS at the end of the day more than anything. Like,
yeah.
But like, the thing is, when he usually if Gabe is gonna play Thor, it's because I'm playing a Hulk. So what he'll do is he'll like wait for them to be weak from me and me being ready to bounce back to, because like, what I'll do is I'll jump into a fight and then we basically start tag teaming them. That is his goal basically. Is when I jump out, he comes in and takes over. I get healed. I come back as he's flying away, and like we just nonstop are in the enemy's shit usually. At least one tank, you know. But like sometimes he'll just go a little too hard to the DPS. You know what I mean?
And I think the biggest problem is that like, whereas you, Aaron, like, because the way you play Hulk, if we're like, hey, yo, please, bro, we need help. you'll be like,
I'll try my best to lead back as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'll pull up. Yeah, but I also know where you're at in comparison to where he's at. Gabe will just not help. And I'm like, dog, you are the tank. Like, help. Help like a little bit. He's like, you're one of the main people that are like good at protecting things. Help me, niggas, please. Especially if we're healers, because if I'm a DPS, I'm like, I get it. You don't need to help me. Whatever. I'll just win my ones, or I'll try to help out the backline.
Try my best.
But that match was so frustrating because we're caught. Devaughn was literally like, bro, like, can like somebody just pull up and help a little bit, please.
I think the biggest part in ranked with our group is a lot of people aren't very like there's a lot of people that aren't very consistent.
That's true.
Like it's just a little bit inconsistent. Like sometimes they'll go off, sometimes no. It really is like a 50-50 chance really sometimes, or like anything like that. And people don't adapt. It's something that pisses me off. Like it takes a while sometimes. It's like, hey yo, this is happening. We might need somebody like this, and like it takes forever for that to happen.
For that to actually happen, because no one really wants to switch off the character.
I get it sometimes, and if we're playing quick play, I really won't give a shit. I'll just be like, hey, we kind of need some shooters, but like it's whatever. But like in ranked, sometimes I'm like, okay, we're playing ranked now. Like this is an actual ranked match. You need egos need to get put aside, and some people need to switch sometimes, because like especially because I play tank a lot. Like there's really not really a lot of shooters as tanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't really. Yeah,
I can't really deal with some certain characters. Yeah, as Hulk, I can drag them out of the sky, but that's such a specific thing. I don't get it all the time. You know what I mean? And like when I see it happen, and like I see that there's people that just don't switch, I'm like, oh my god, I want to break. And this is not even just you guys. It's in ranked in general. It's like, bro, like, yeah, come on.
I probably need to learn all shooter, but like, well, I have Human Torch now, but that's not the best one either. But like. For me personally, it's like almost every character besides Mantis and Mantis and Human Torch literally punch people. With the exception of probably Spider-Man, but he's like has like one of the worst
Guess he can shoot
projectiles ever. Yeah, technically he can shoot. He's predominantly melee, but he can shoot. It's not good. It's literally one of the worst. Like I said, it's one of the worst projectiles ever.
Iron Fist is the funny one. You're the melee guy that can fucking fly, but it's your whole body going up there, so they can strike you anytime and get fucked over.
This turned into a conversation about rivals. We should probably finish the actual we were pretty much done with the deep dive, and we started talking shit. I just realized we were still recording, and I'm like 2 hours in, and I'm like, yeah, we should probably wrap this up.
Well, because we jumped over to the competitive aspect of him talking about that. So yeah, we are in like rivals conversation. But like if there's anything else anybody wants to pull out of somebody, like I'm sure everybody else has questions of things that the other people are into, we can just grab real quick and just see.
I think I'm good at least. It was pretty good discussion.
Pretty good. I always like to talk about the music thing. I love dubstep, and I think I'll never ever not love that for some reason.
Yeah, electronic music, honestly.
It just always hits. Electronic music always hits. I haven't been into dubstep in super long now. Like dubstep specifically just hasn't.
I'm mixed about it with dubstep. It's not my favorite genre.
Some in the background, I love it.
For me,
I get it.
Or I don't know why orchestral. A lot of orchestral stuff is just my go-to.
I find myself attracted as far as music goes to a lot of fusion stuff. So like I really like trap jazz, for instance, or funk, electronica funk, or like rock. I've been listening to rock jazz as well, like hard jazz. Is what it's called. That shit's nice. So like very soon, I just find myself always going towards like the mixings of genres, because it's always kind of interesting to see like how things get twisted, and you go like, oh, so you took this element from this thing, but not this, but you took this. I'm like, okay, it's kind of sick. You can get so creative, bro. So creative.
No, I will say one thing. If we're not Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say one thing. Going back to where we were talking about the writing thing. I'm not the biggest one. I have tried a bit, but for the most part, You, Amani, you most definitely have inspired me to try it out at least, because if I remember correctly, it was when we were in high school and we were just doing those walk nights at the time, and we just started talking about fan character we used to create in different media and such.
Oh yeah.
And you talked about your stories, and I was just, I wonder if I can make one. And then I made my concept and been on the board since.
Just sitting on the
Been
board.
sitting there. I have other ideas now too, but it's just that's the main one. It's just been like cooking. It's just been boiling.
I feel you. We can work on it if you want to continue working on it. It's just up to you. But it's a good. I thought the idea was cool. It just takes some fine tuning.
Yes,
It's more the thing. You just gotta cultivate it.
but it doesn't
been-
help that
'cause-
I lost the information too.
Yeah, no, that's always
what
that
we
always
worked
sucks.
on before is just gone.
Sick. All my progress gone.
Gone.
No, it's fine. It's
One
fine.
character
And,
that we created
it
is
takes
just in the
cultivating.
ether. Don't remember. I know the
Yeah.
I know the concept was just to be. Just don't remember the name.
Damn. Hey, look, you can always rename them. It's okay.
That's
It'll
true.
work itself out. But I definitely feel you. It's like definitely something we could work on. And apparently, the thing that we got from this is that apparently we also just write a book or something.
On average, yeah. It's
like,
like,
all of us should just work together to write a book.
but we found that out when we
Or
did
some.
the whole what is it? The little what's that game you gave us? You had us to do?
We can make a
Oh
anime.
yeah. The mind games.
Yeah, mind games, yeah.
The second mind game where we were all just like come up with ideas.
It's just
and
that
concepts
I
and
shouldn't
everything.
make a superhero. I plagiarize a lot.
You're just like, damn, bro. I keep making shit that exists.
Just change up a couple things. You'll be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. You got it. that was a cool one. I almost want to do another one like that one because that one was really fun. I just like seeing what you guys came up with. Although Leon, you were getting cooked a little.
Oh
bit,
no,
I'm not gonna lie,
absolutely.
bro.
Those two most definitely. But when it came to the other genres, I actually did pretty decent.
Quite
That one was
unfortunate.
funny. Quite unfortunate. Just a tad bit. I should never have put fantasy up there, bro. I mean, like, Aaron cooked some shit. Aaron cooked up some shit, but
I
like,
was like, oh hell no, Monty, you put us into this.
That was a
You put me in this
guaranteed point for
category.
him. That was a guaranteed point.
I still have those shits
Oh, yeah,
written
no.
down.
the idea was sick as fuck. That's part of it. But Devaughn was just like, you dare? You dare put me? You dare embarrass me?
That is right.
On live television like this?
I mean, then we went the whole anime route, and you just kind of gave me the free point too.
I mean, yeah, anime was fine.
My political thriller was not good enough.
Because both of you and Aaron's political thrillers was interesting. It's just that, like, Leon's was the only one that was like just political. You guys had like it mixed with something else, and I was like, that's pretty fire. That's not bad. And normally I'd be like, I fucks with those.
I'm asking for
mixing
one
of genres.
specific thing.
I still think that, like, honestly, mine would be such a funny comedy, like political thriller comedy.
Oh, yeah,
instead of
yeah,
him.
that would-
It's
that
like,
would.
no, you understand? Aliens are real. The government's using them as slaves. We need to free them. You're fucking insane, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? No, I'm not fucking kidding.
It's
I
so
saw it
messed
with my
up. We're
own
the bad
eye.
guys.
Like, we are actually the bad guys. Come on. They just want to go home.
Man, the boy.
Mine is the anti-villain.
man.
Oh, that one.
He wants bad things, but via good results.
Yes, exactly.
Completely legal and
He will hold this whole
Optional,
conference as hostage until you agree with this one bill.
completely legal.
Yes.
He's like, that will donate to some puppies if it means that you will sign this fucking bill, bro.
All right, you're not signing. I guess gotta break some toes.
But only the toes.
Only the toes. Don't worry, you'll still be able to walk. Then I have to get to your family.
Yeah. honestly, I feel like if you crush their like big toe, they can't walk by default. Honestly, if you crush a lot of their toes, they can't walk by default. I'm gonna be honest.
They'll break it in a very specific way that can heal.
I feel like
perfectly.
then you get to a point where if you crush all the toes and they have to remove them all, then at the end of the day, they can just learn to walk on their stump of a foot. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They will evolve.
All right. You guys got any more? We'll do like a final one.
Nope, it's just
Okay.
that we have gotten through a lot of media, and we're gonna get through so much more.
So many things that we actually truly enjoy.
So many things we don't even know about. It's out there. Was waiting for us.
For real. We're gonna check out more, and we'll be here to talk about it in general. So, do the usual thing. You guys can hit us up at paperplayaction@gmail.com or paper_action
That's
on
right.
both X and any of the other things that we currently have. So,
xxx.com.
well, no,
No,
not
that
one.
many. Not that many. Hold on, wait a second.
that's a very different place. But Threads.
Threads.
Yeah, we're on Threads and Blue
Voice he does every
Skies.
fucking time.
They gotta know.
Hit us
The
up on that
excitement.
and send us a question or follow us in there, and we'll let you guys know of like new episodes and things like that that are coming out. Keep you updated. You can also, if you want to support the show, you can rate it in the little rating box down in the Spotify or the iTunes or whatever it is that you're listening on your podcast on. Because I never thought to ask that until recently. But yeah, give it a nice little rating. That'll probably put it in more people's eyes, or tell people about it, because that
Just click
also
that,
helps.
push that button. Click it.
Click the button, right? You can rate it to the rest of. You don't even have to rate it highly if you don't like it. I don't know why you keep
Rate us
listening to
how
us if
you
you don't
feel.
like us. But give us
However
a
you
review.
feel.
Let us know.
Give us a number of sorts.
Tell us how you feel. Yeah, exactly. Of sorts. You can also go to our Patreon or the little tip box that we got down there. That also supports the show. Just hit us up there. We got a $1 tier. It's not expensive. If you want to, donate a little something, you can. It makes us inspired. Actually, we'll be inspired regardless, but more inspired. Motivated. Motivated's the word I'm looking for. They'll be more motivated.
We will be like Virgil, but better.
Now I'm motivated. Exactly. In fact, I need to do something that involves that. When just a single dollar pops up, it's like, well, now I'm motivated.
Motivation.
There we go.
The Trader Lies plays in the
But that-
background when that happens. Just
Exactly.
Barry
But yeah,
Gone,
you
not
can do
the
that.
Trader
We'll lose our shits over it. We'll be happy. We'll be big happy, one might say, and try to get you guys even more content because it helps us do that. And I think that's about it for the things that I usually have to mention. I'm pretty sure. Just spread the love.
Spread the
That's the
love.
vibes. Spread the love.
All right.
What?
So that's the end of this one. Appreciate
Goodbye,
you guys coming in.
everybody.
Farewell,
Peace.
guys.
Goodbye, amigos.